Hello everybody. Hello, it's me, it's Andy. I just remembered, people won't be able to hear Mikey because I did a podcast with Gruff this week, and I had to set the audio to Gruff. Now I have to reset it back to, what's it called on here? Dirty Mikey? Yeah, no one can actually hear you at the moment, but that's just the way Discord works when you try and pumping it through. I don't know why it's like that, but it is. Adam, where's Mikey's voice for Discord? Just this? Yeah, that's it. For some reason, yeah, it's not classed as Adam. It's classed as something else for you, but that's okay.
Better. It's just classed as better.
I would agree. What's it? Let's look at the properties. It's classed as Decayed Andy's Crypt Discord. You don't get your own name. You're just part of me, Mikey.
I am people have said I am an extension of you for a while.
Really? Wow. I didn't realize people hated you that much.
Wow. I mean, yeah. Well.
Man, could they have insulted you anymore? Jesus. Come on now.
I mean, some people, I'm sure, were like, oh, he's gone for a few months, and he's back.
No, it's Mikey. Dirty
Why is
Mikey.
he back?
Because he's got to talk about dinosaurs.
Yeah, well, actually, yes, he does.
Yeah,
but,
and the sadness of the no-humming dinosaurs.
Yeah, can't be bought in this country or any country without paying an extra, like, 50 quid on top of it.
Yeah, I saw some people, because, we're probably not going to talk about this on the recorded podcast, but on the game website, you know how games do, we'll talk about the Transformer side of this, but you know how games do, like, their stupid, like, what the fuck kind of deals. They did a stupid what the fuck kind of deal on the Null Venom 2-pack, the... not Tobey Maguire, not Andrew Garfield, what's his name? He's very pretty. People love him.
Tom Holland?
Tom Holland, yeah. Tom Holland and Ned 2-pack. That was £5, that Ned 2-pack, which is like stupid because it's usually like 40. The Null's like HMV has the Null Venom pack. HMV, remember, so they've got stupid prices. They've got it for 90. Game had it for 15.
Holy.
Yes, not including postage. Postage is like £4, so it boosts it up to 20. But versus 90, even on sale.
Yeah.
The cheapest I've seen it on sale for is $69.99.
Jesus.
They had MODOK, big boy. I've got weird green nipples MODOK. I think he's 40, and I think he went down to 5. Not MODOK.
Right.
No, Mojo. That's why the big green nipples, yeah.
Which one's Mojo?
Mojo's the one from the one episode of The Simpsons where he's got Spiral, the 6-armed lady, and he's got this weird TV show in another dimension. He's got he's got like robotic spider legs and a spider and like a metal scorpion tail. He's overweight. He's kind of like the Jabba the Hutt kind of, but with
I get him.
Yeah, TV references. Him. All of their prices were down across the board. I saw on some of the Marvel Legends pages, people were like, I said jokingly, like there's a 5-pack that has Strife, Hypnosis, Random. The circle or some, it's a pack of fucking who are these people? No one fucking knows them, right? And it's quite an expensive pack because it's a 5-pack. I said jokingly, if it was 30 quid, I'd buy it. And they were like, it's not sustainable to do that. If they did, if they put those prices up, they'd pull out of the Marvel Legends thing. And I was like, I know I'm not stupid, but this is the only way I'd buy it. But they brought up the good point of, why is like game doing these kind of crazy deals?
It's weird.
I think it pisses off like retailers as well. Like actually, like the other retailers, I'm sure they get like fucking furious when they've still got stock, and game just goes, whatever, £5.
And I'm like, I know like the Bumblebee multi-pack was a mistake, and they fixed that. But
that was the same. That was the same for Venom and stuff, apparently, but not
like
fast enough.
They've got Motormaster up there for 45 right now, but is he out of? No, he's not out of stock.
Really? Wow.
Oh dear! By the time he came over to me, like with shipping and everything else, he'd be back up to regular retail.
That's why I didn't bother mentioning it to you, Mikey, because I saw 45. I was like, I'll mention it to Mikey, and then I went, no, Mikey will be mean to me and say I can't afford that, Andy. So I was like, no, I'll leave it.
I can't find him anywhere here. But now I've actually kind of on like now I'm in kind of a position where I could like actually get hold of him. I can't find him because all the little kids bought him at Christmas.
Those little shit weasels.
Yeah, Tonkinator's 70, which...
It's still in stores. How's that still in stores? How did anybody buy that? Why?
I don't know.
Why?
It's in Forbidden Planet in Dublin, but it's like 150.
I don't understand the attraction to Tonka Devastator personally. It's yellow Devastator, but not as nice.
The Creatures Collide set is still very cheap for what it is. Like, it's about half what you'd normally pay. Which is like, if it's at 45 now, you'd easily pay 85, 90 for that. On most
15's
retailers.
better, technically. Obviously.
Yeah, 15 would be better. Megatron tank with Baroness is 45.
I still think that's too much because.
Well, like, it is huge.
I know, but it's so hollow.
But it's very tall.
Yeah, but it's so hollow.
Galaxy Shuttle is 25.
I legit look at that His Tank Megatron and think it looks to me like a toy you'd find in B&M, like a knockoff, because it's just you look at it from the front, but you look at it from the sides, and it's just a hollow mess. There's nothing to it. I don't like it.
But yeah, Galaxy Shuttle's 25.
Yeah, if I,
which is a third of the price of it was normally. Which, if I cared about Galaxy Shuttle or wanted that Astro Train in any way, I'd say like that's one to leap at. But
100%, I 100% agree. I don't care that much about Galaxy Shuttle. You know what I would care about, Mikey?
I nearly bought Scourge off this. Did I tell you that?
Oh, off game. I could see that because he was down in price as well. I almost got him as well.
20, and I was like, I didn't want him until like a few people sort of went, his colors were used as a basis for Alexis Carib. And I was just like, fuck. Oh. And I wasn't going to pay like the bloody 70 he was here. And I just saw him on there. Like, even with the shipping, he'd be cheaper.
See, I always get put off by the fact that it says Scourge. I'm like, it's not Scourge. It's Black Convoy. I don't want him. I want Scourge.
It's Nemesis Prime.
Black Convoy, Nemesis Prime, same thing. Not Scourge.
Dude. Not Scourge. The wrong guy. It is the wrong, even though Scourge was Black Convoy in Japan. But we're not getting into that.
No.
But yeah, like Motormaster is the one I'd really like. I'm tempted to like try. Honestly, I'm tempted to like maybe down if he's still there like a week from now, maybe just like calculate exactly what price he'd be, everything else, and then maybe send him to someone's house and then collect it at some point.
Oh my god, whose house?
I don't know. I don't know who will like hold on to this so I can technically illegally ship it back by taking it out of the box legal. And shoving it as. It's technically a customs thing. I think it counts as like you've anything to declare once you take a toy out of a box, throw the box away, stuck it in with your underwear, and then say, "No, I brought it with me."
Oh, mate. I mean, if that's the case, that would have been done years ago for like buying Beast Wars figures in America.
You probably should have been.
No. Can you imagine? Like there was this when I did the like little 2-week exchange with America. This was during the time of like Energon and stuff, and I loaded up on like Energon figures. I loaded my suitcase. I stuffed it. Same for when, obviously, for like for when I did BotCon as well. I stuffed my pants full of that shit. I'm pretty sure when I was coming back, they looked through my bags, and I was just like, I nodded slowly. Was like, "Yep, that's right." And they said nothing. Transformers, man. They're not gonna if they pull you on something like, I don't know, like jewelry, stuff that they can actually equate money to, fair enough. But this is like your fucking Transformers, man. What are you gonna do? They're not gonna care if you've got like a clearance item from a clearance. Yeah, it was Lugna I got from clearance at Ross, so I got them super cheap.
God, that's gone back for years.
Yeah. Oh, they did fix the Bumblebee creature pack, didn't they? Damn. Yeah, that was a lot cheaper. That was 15. I think that was a story I put up for the actual news portion of the show as well, but we'll get to it. I always think it's like weird when you like look at their stock and you go, "Oh, they've got Sludge for 55," and then they've got, like you say, Motormaster for 44. It's like, all right, fair enough, whatever. Mikey, should we get to proper pooping? I feel like we've introed enough. I feel my Vocaloid systems have been warmed up.
Yes, let us do that.
All right, cool. Let me pull this down. Okay, all right. Let me set up the music. Hello, everybody watching us online as well. Hopefully you're having a good time and you can hear Mikey and everything's working. All right, let's roll the music and let's talk some fucking Transformers. Here we go.
Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name is Andy, Decade Andy, and I'm joined by the man who deals slip through his fingers like sand. It's Mikey G. Wolfie 3. Hello, Mikey.
Gee, thanks.
No worries, buddy. I've always got you. I've got you, man.
Yay.
I've got you under my skin.
Yay?
Yeah, it's a rash.
Hey. Oh my god. Oh my god.
It's like the clip from the Velma show when the baby's pushing its way out of the woman's womb. You know that part?
No, I don't. I stopped keeping any remote track of that.
That's episode 1.
Did it? Oh.
Yeah.
God, did it happen?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't remember that.
It's
but,
it's the I think it's the mistress of the new wife of Velma's dad. She's pregnant, and the baby starts pushing through her womb. You can see the little hand coming through the skin. Then she gets naked for some reason, and the dad starts taking pictures of her.
Yeah, I don't remember any of that. But then again, I honestly don't remember much about that anyway, because it was
a nightmare.
Like my overwhelming thing was just this was a very mean experience.
It is a incredibly terrible show.
It is very mean-spirited.
Yes. Among other things, quite racist as well, surprisingly.
And sexist.
And sexist.
And anti-LGBT in many ways as well.
Yeah.
And to the point where, like, I saw...
Oh, people think it's gaslighting. It's weird.
Yeah, but...
Yeah, not gaslighting. PSYOP, that's what they said. People think it's a PSYOP, and it's like, no. Minnie's not that smart.
No, but, like, I loved when I saw something that was, like this I do remember, because it was just, like... woke show failing or something like that on YouTube when like it was coming up in my recommendations, and I was like and I was just like, did you watch it? Because it was, I mean, not.
I mean, it is and isn't all at the same time.
It's, well, like, she's very conservative, the woman who made it,
Mindy.
Like, yeah, she's really, like, she's pretty out there from what little I know about her. Because like I Googled her for the first time I heard about the show, and I was just like, oh, it's that one. Oh, wow.
I don't think she's conservative.
She's very right. She's very right wing. She's come out and said it several times. But
it doesn't act like a right wing.
I mean, well, to be fair, Andy, you don't know what she's like. We see a character.
I guess, yeah, that's true for both of our standpoints.
Exactly. All I know is that she said she is, and then the show really reads like she's kind of just mean to everyone and everything.
I would definitely agree with that. She seems like a horrible, horrible person.
Yeah.
Who's got a lot of issues to work out, which she's working out through her roles in Hollywood, which is not the way to do it.
It's also important to remember that she very much from an era where comedians weren't actually funny. They just said wacky things in a script. I'm not sure that era has actually ended.
No, I would agree. Transformers, though, Mikey. We got Transformers to talk about this week, as we tend to do. Not much, though. There's not a huge amount this week. But there's a few little bits and bobs here and there. So, Mikey, do you remember like the 80s and the 90s?
Vaguely. I wish they'd stop reminding me about them, but I remember them.
Well, I didn't know that these were a thing that still were going on, but apparently Koosh balls are still a thing. And we have a licensed Transformers, Optimus Prime, and Bumblebee. I'll be honest, I did slightly misread it at one point and read Evergreen as Evangelion.
They've already done an Evangelion Optimus Prime.
I was wondering, like, would they do an Evangelion Koosh ball? What is a Koosh ball? It is a ball of... I don't even know how you describe a Koosh ball.
Little rubbery strings that you pull and that are highly, highly toxic.
Oh, are these still highly toxic?
Oh, God, yes.
Oh, nice.
They haven't... Also, basically, you just pull them. They stretch a bit. They come off when you're very small. You swallow them.
Are you meant to like kick
whoever-
them? Isn't it just like a ball that you meant to like kick in the house or something?
Yeah, but it's children are meant to do a lot of things.
That's yeah. I was trying to think what's the legit thing that a Koosh ball is for. Because my mates had some, Matthew and Andy, who were like brothers, had some Koosh balls, but I can't remember what they were. I think that they were. I'm sure they were themed, but I can't remember how, and I don't know why.
I remember that I used to just like hold a couple of them and like let them stretch and bounce back into my hand.
Oh, you had one? I never had a Koosh ball.
I like it that you can play with them as yo-yos, or use them to decorate a Christmas tree, or use them as wrecking ball accessory for Revenge of the Fallen Devastator. None of these are choices you should be making in life. Also, I'm assuming it's like just the color, not the here's a weird CGI head sticking out of it.
Hang on, did you say you're assuming? Have you not looked at the...
Because that looks terribly, terribly photoshopped.
Oh, I see. No, I think this is going to be what it's going to be.
I'm gonna hang on. Let's see what the Koosh Balls cameo line looks like, and then we will have a. Let's see, because like if. Oh my god, it really is just head sticking out of a Koosh ball.
Yeah, well, what else would it be? This is what I remembered from my mates, Matt and Ann. They had a Koosh ball. It was themed, and it had something like this.
Yeah, I just had. Oh my god, they've done a Rexy, a terrible, scary Rexy.
Send me the link, and I'll put it up on screen.
I just went on Google Images and searched Koosh Ball cameos, and it was one of the first ones. There's a blue and a Rexy.
All right, I'll turn down the page and I'll have a look.
and the little Yoda child, who I think has a name now.
Boogle Bongles or something. I don't know.
I'm just calling him the little baby Yoda.
I think Baby Yoda is easier as a description. You know, you say Baby Yoda, you go, yeah, I know.
I'm amazed they didn't market him as just Baby Yoda and say, it's Yoda's child, inheriting the name of Yoda.
No, you see, Mikey, Star Wars has a very deep and interesting lore.
Cool. I'm not a Star Wars fan. I am the wrong person to talk to about that. Koosh, these Koosh cameos are the ultimate retro rewind. A new line from Play Monster called Koosh Cameos. So we've only done Jurassic World and Mandalorian.
You could get Baby Rex, or Baby Blue, sorry. You like Blue.
Can I just point something out? Neither of those are retro.
What do you mean?
Retro rewind. Neither of these are retro. They were both made in the last 5 years.
Jurassic World's pretty old, though.
Jurassic World is they've got the Dominion logo on it, Andy.
Yeah, you know. How old is World at this point?
World was 2015.
Oh, God. So, yeah, like 6 years. No, more. Jesus.
7 years now, I suppose, because it was 2015, 2018, and then 2022.
Yeah, goddamn. Oof.
Time, they've got another trilogy on the way at some point, but there's no word on anything about that. By the fact we know that they've agreed they're going to do more movies because they made a buttload of money.
I don't know why. I thought you were going to say they agreed to do more Koosh balls.
Basically it's going to be like Jurassic Park but Koosh balls.
Oh, that would be an interesting movie. Well, it would be a movie. Yeah, well. Koosh balls. They come in B and Prime. It's the evergreen versions, which I know people love. They're coming.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're coming. I'll take the next little story because it's another shit one, arguably. Stretch Armstrong. Do you like torturing men and human beings like Stretch Armstrong? Well, now you can torture and maim Bumblebee.
I always wanted them to have like a voice feature.
Where they screamed.
Yeah.
I always wanted the villain, the red guy.
No, because I didn't realize there was a story.
I don't know if it was a story, but I think what they did was they adopted another sort of Stretch Armstrong guy. He was red. You could put a pump on the side of his head, and if you pumped him up, he'd get like these little lumps on his body, rimmed for her pleasure, I suppose you could say.
Right.
It's like he grew acne over his entire body. Or like, how pickles are meant to be kind of like lumpy.
Vaguely.
Yeah, he got that. And he was red. It was weird.
Ah.
Yeah, I don't know the dank lore of Stretch Armstrong, but it was a thing. But Bumblebee, I think we might have talked about these before, because I'm pretty sure we saw this terrifying child pulling a Photoshop Bumblebee at one point.
I'm sure there's been more than one, to be honest.
Yeah.
Although that is a terrible, terrible Photoshop.
It's something I would have done.
That's worse than anything you do.
Oh, thank you. I think I don't know how to take it.
It is very bad.
But at least the child has like the hallmarks of a Jeffrey Dahmer in his eyes.
Yeah, he does look like he's killed before.
Yeah, he'll do it again. I'm gonna pull you apart, Mum, for doing this. You said we were going to the dentist. I'd rather the dentist than this today.
Look at my buck teeth.
Oh,
Look at them.
Oh, he can't help that. Maybe.
I'm 42 years old.
Oh, no. Well, if he's 42, then maybe he could. Yeah. Maybe he's British. Maybe that's the thing. But yeah, apparently the Stretch Armstrong Transformers line is planned. It's a UK company is planning to expand the Stretch Armstrong Transformers line alongside Star Wars characters. So maybe you can pull Baby Groogle, Yoda into long pieces as well. I don't know.
Cool.
Yeah. Can you think of any characters you'd like to stretch forever and ever, Mikey?
I can think of a few actual people.
No, like fictional characters, preferably.
I like my version better.
I'm trying not to get you, into
organs extending as their eyes widen as they realize we're ever closer to that point of snapping.
I was trying to protect you from the authorities, but that's okay.
Just enough.
Well,
consciousness left. No, it was me doing it.
Remember when you're in the chair, Mikey, remember that Andy tried to help you. That's okay, though.
Flash of blood with the final snap.
I might be there pulling the trigger down. But I'll there'll be tears in my eye. It'll be like the Green Mile, Mikey. There'll be tears in my eyes as I send you off to get executed.
Yeah.
You'll give me your little tiny mouse, Mr. Jingles, and I'll electrocute you to death.
Look at God and say to him what happened. You tell him you did it kindness.
I'll be a man that doesn't wet the sponge as I put it on your head. I like that movie. I like Green Mile. Sad movie though. Oof.
Yeah, I was in school and some of the children said like, we want a recommendation for a movie. And the maths teacher went, you should watch The Shawshank Redemption and then The Green Mile.
Oh my God. Oh, there's two emotionally damaging movies for kids.
You should watch a violent rape scene, kids.
I was thinking more like where you just like, by the end of each of those movies, it's hard not to cry. It's like,
you're emotionally destroyed.
Yeah. Oh, poor Tom Hanks at the end of Green Mile, where he's like, yep, this is my punishment for killing an angel. I have to live forever. So what did Mr. Jingles do to deserve immortality?
Mr. Jingles was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Interesting movie. Damn, you forget how big Michael Clarke Duncan is, though. Like, in that movie,
he's a large man.
Yeah, he was huge. Mikey, do you want to tell me about squares that are magical?
Yes, all squares are magical. They defy logic, and I believe one day will take us and claim us.
Oh, wow. Okay. Cool.
So Magic Square have revealed a new set of prototype images of some legend scale figures, a term that is slowly losing all meaning, as the legend scale is a relic of a time when we had a legend scale.
Well, it's like Deluxe's shrink, and as these, like you say, legend scales seem to get bigger as well. Like you say, I 100% agree.
Remember, you still have Deluxe, but now you have Core, Cyberverse, Legends, Cybercore, Core, Cyberverse Core, Coreverse, Birthverse, and so on. So these are their versions of the Combaticons. So we've got an image of Brawl and Blastoff. We've got Onslaught, Vortex, and Swindle. And we have a partially completed version of Bruticus. It looks like Brawl's the only one that's quite finished.
Yeah, they've got an actual prototype of him, it seems.
So basic, so Blastoff, otherwise known as the world's most dangerous lover, and
he did nothing wrong.
He did everything wrong. No. Oh my God!
I think in a court of law, he'd be okay.
That was more reflective of the statute of our legal system. But yeah, we see Brawl and we see him in color. It's very G1, very, very G1 as you'd expect.
Yeah.
But he looks very well proportioned, I have to say, and I like the tank. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's quite a cute little tank actually. It kind of looks like I guess what it should be, which is kind of World War. I don't know tanks too well, but it looks like an older tank. Like it looks like a tank of its time with the weirdly shaped the turret, where it's not like really long. Like when I think of tanks, I think of a really long, whatever the twisty bit of the turret is called.
Yeah.
That's what I imagine. I don't know why they posted with the Diablo though.
Yeah, I was gonna say Brawl seems to have picked a fight he is not going to win.
Good looking toy though, but yeah.
Oh, yeah. And Blast Off again, very very show model with standard. I mean that's basically it. It's like all of them are very 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 introductory Combaticon episode show model.
Yeah,
like that is what they're aiming for. Like they've even got those weird angles at Onslaught's chest that he has, I think, in only 1 or 2 episodes because he's quite boxy in other ones. But yeah, they all look fairly well proportioned, fairly well made. They look like quite articulated. Seeing a few double jointed elbows and stuff like that. Like a lot of the Legend stuff that isn't like Iron Factor or something, it's very much trying to be like Masterpiece light. Bruticus looks very well proportioned.
Which version of Bruticus is this, Mikey? And I mean animation model.
Oh God.
When you said like their introduction and like Revenge of Bruticus, I think you're 100% right. I think that's the aesthetic that they're trying to go for, that's fine. I don't mind that.
Yeah. Doesn't say here if it's got integrated kibble or if those are extra pieces.
The chest is definitely an extra piece.
Yeah, that definitely. Like I assume it's extra pieces because I don't know where those feet would go.
No, I agree. I'm okay with that. That's fine by me.
Yeah, I've no I don't really object to parts forming it.
Isn't that how they did the Magic Square Devastator combiner? Because I know they did.
They did those extra parts, didn't they? Like the extra torso for Devastator. Was that them?
Well, I know New Age did that as well because I have I have theirs, and I'm maybe Magic Square did that as well, but I'm not entirely sure. I
don't remember. Let's find out.
All right. Take me on a journey, Mikey. Tell me the things.
Take you on an adventure, Mr. Frodo.
Yeah. Oh no. No, I'll say that from what we see of the prototype Brawl looks really good. I think all of these look really solid. They look like good little toys. They are less boxy than what I'm used to seeing from Magic Square, which is quite nice. They're still still somewhat boxy compared to the New Age kind of style, but if you went, hey Andy, do you want to buy this? I'd be like, ooh.
Yeah, it's not bad. And yes, Devastator did have pants. He had leg pants.
Okay. I was like, what do you mean?
And a lot of chest kibble and stuff like that, but he had leg pants.
I think we agreed that that's probably the best way to do these combiners. So I'm okay with that.
I like it. I think it's a fun thing, and it means that the individual figures can be, uncompromised.
Yeah, agreed.
Whereas when people that's, I would rather have a world of Menasors than a world of Combiner War Menasors.
I wonder how many. I think people would agree with that, but I think if you just describe the concept of that to them, people would be really fucking annoyed because people don't want to admit that many. I'm gonna make the assumption. I don't think people would admit that that's a parts former, but it technically is.
It really is. In fact, it's literally because you have to take it apart and put it back together.
Yeah, I don't think people would see it as that though for some reason, right? Because they like it. But I like the idea of that. The question I have, and it's way too early to say, when G2 do? When G2 do?
Always G2 will rise.
Because that would be obviously the one I like, because it's a stupid color, i.e. amazing. Yeah, would I buy this if it was in G2? Maybe. I do like Bruticus, and I really do like the G2 color scheme, so...
I like G2 Bruticus a lot. I used to have the terrible, Fall of Cybertron one.
Oh, Mikey, no.
It was a bad toy, but I really made excuses for it, because I just wanted that color scheme.
I do remember, either an auto assembly or a TF Nation at one point in the past. I'm pretty sure it was one that you were at as well. There was a oversized knockoff G2 Bruticus, and I remember feeling kind of stupid that I didn't get it because it was huge. I'm pretty sure Brawl was the size of a Voyager at the time.
Oh wow,
so
that's gone back.
It was big. It was big. Can't remember who did it, and who knows? The plastic quality might have been shit on it, but
Oh, well, it couldn't have been worse than the actual figure.
oh, hang on. The G1 Bruticus was all right.
Oh, G1. I thought you were talking about the thing.
No, not the Fall of Cybertron one. No. I mean like the G1, G2 original boys. No. Nothing could get me to buy that Fall of Cybertron one. That was just sad on many levels, especially since it was a nice design.
Yeah, it was an interesting time.
Yeah. Any other? Would you buy these, Mikey? I know you're not really a third-party Legends boy for the most part.
I'm not really a Bruticus boy, to be honest. Like G2 would be the only way you really convince me, but so yeah, it's all right.
I might dabble depending on price. I mean, it will be expensive, but I might dabble depending on money in the future. I'd like
Woo, do it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Do it.
And they'll actually need to get out the G2 Bruticus as well. You know, G1's fine, but G2's better.
Yeah, I'm saying that about the Dinobot Combiner, and I'm also like, they'll never do it. It's sensible.
Combiner?
The Dino King.
Oh.
I'm just like, do that, and I'll, try and pick them up. And I'm just sitting there going like, they'll never do it.
No, they hate you, and they hate.
They hate money as well, clearly, because that would sell better.
I'm pretty sure it would sell. It would do pretty well, just on the basis that it's rare to see Dino King. When was the last time we had Dino King?
Dino officially
No.
once.
I mean, like just the last time. I think the last time, even unofficially, was Fans Toy.
Project.
Fans Project.
Fans Project.
Yeah. That's the last time. That was a while ago as well.
No. Oh my God! Hayatoy's Godzilla's getting a second release.
Hey, that's good news for you.
Give it to me.
I mean, good news if you have the money. You've got the money for it, right?
Well, it's cheap. One of the reasons I'd get it before the monster arts.
I mean, it being cheap relative to if you have money at the time, I suppose is what.
Oh no, like
if you've got the money, you're good then.
I'm getting it. Shut up. Shut up.
I'm not stopping you, buddy.
Shut up.
What's the next? Oh no, I'll take us on to the next story. For some reason, this hasn't been published on the bigger news sites, but over on Dime Chuck, which is what we're looking at now on the stream, Dime Chuck shows off the Dr. Wu's workshop. Why not just call it Fiendish Workshop? But never mind. It's the Extreme Warfare DW-E14B Energon Dragon Black.
Energon Dragon
Black. And it is a super deformed Trypticon.
Yep.
Does it transform? No, it does transform. It transforms into the weird battle fortress mode.
It transforms as much as Trypticon ever does.
Yeah, it does have the city mode as well. It has what's his little drone dude called, Mike? What's his name again? I can't remember.
Tilt something?
Is it
Full tilt?
Full tilt. It comes with him. I don't see images of him transformed. No, I don't see. I see the car mode. I don't see any images of full tilt, if that's what it was called. Don't see any of him transformed. Seems fairly posable for his cute little dumpy size. What do you think, Mikey? Do you like it?
I do. He looks cool.
Yeah. Would you like this? Here's a question. Would you like this in the Jurassic Park set color scheme?
I'd rather have it in the crazy color scheme.
Well, lucky for you, we've got one of those as well. Let me just roll down the map. I'll re-find it because as soon as I came out of the pictures, it put me back at the top of the page. Here it is. Yes, this is the DW-E14P Energy Dragon, which is Trypticon. Stu tried to ruin this for me, Mikey.
Why would Stu try to ruin this?
Because he said this is Evangelion colors, and I went,
go to hell, Stu. Sorry, did I say that out loud?
He kind of heard it from me. Luckily, it's not. It is purple. It is lime green, and it is
go on Twitter
orange.
and tell Stu to go to hell.
No context.
No, it's just go to hell, Stu.
No, okay, there you go. Yeah, I really like this color scheme. I think this already looked like a pretty solid toy. I think it looks even better as this on his hip. On the little bit that would have been a translucent piece of plastic, they've got a toxic symbol on, which I think works even better for this color scheme. It screams the 90s, and I'm all about that shit.
Oh, yeah.
I hope and pray, but I assume this is not going to be cheap. I imagine this will be like 60 to 80 pounds, probably.
I would say 80 is probably more likely.
Yeah.
Like Doctor Wu stuff is not on the cheap side.
No, I'd much prefer it to be like 30 and I'd easily buy it, but it's not going to be that.
No, that is like it's cheaper than the Master Make chibi stuff, which was like way stylized and also way more expensive.
Oh yeah, how much was that off the top of your head?
Oh, some of them are over 100. Like
Whoa,
Overlord
sheesh.
was over 100.
Sheesh. Oof. But I like this. It's not a massive issue, but like a minor issue I have is the fact that it looks like the teeth are painted. So that could mean like chip damage over time, paint and whatnot. Might have been better to have those as individual bits of like green plastic, but I get it. It's save money and whatnot. But
Doctor Wu Energy Dragon on Show Z, the original black one. Would you like to know the price?
Okay.
30
Oh, dollars, pounds. Oh.
There's
Is this one on there or not yet?
Not yet.
Interesting. Note chat. Note people who are listening to chat as well. It doesn't actually say what the it says Energy Dragon purple. It's not really purple. It's very green. I would have gone with green
on it.
Yeah, I would have gone with more green because that's the most standout color, or like orange. But okay, it doesn't say if it's limited, if it's like web exclusive. Doesn't say anything like that. So I guess shows he just don't have it at the moment for whatever reason. But if it's 30, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. Would you do it? You got money.
For 30, I think it's probably a good buy, to be honest. Yeah. I'd be a little worried about quality.
Is Dr. Wu meant to be bad?
I don't know.
Or are you just more concerned because it's 30 and you think they're just shit out of the factory?
Well, I'm more concerned, like, when was the last time you saw a third-party thing at 30, no matter the size?
Well, yeah. Yeah.
So, if anyone does know how the Doctor Wu original figures turned out, please let us know.
Definitely. Mikey, do you want to take us on to the third-party news that you found today, movie-related, as I slowly scroll down to it?
Yeah, Metagate have revealed images of their CAD model for a triple-changing masterpiece scale Shatter from Bumblebee. Bumblebee. So if you don't remember, Shatter's from the good Bumblebee movie, which is also the good Transformers movie. It's weird. We get to see in robot and in the vehicle modes. Robot mode looks pretty solid. Vehicle mode CADs are pretty selective and from the angle, so unfortunately I'm a little suspicious.
I think the car's going to be fine.
Yeah, I think the jet might be something like, just look from the top. Just look from the top. It's fine. Just look at the top.
I think that's generally how these figures go. I mean, we've always said in the past, they always have to sacrifice at least one mode. And for Shatter and Dropkick, it's always been like the aerial modes. Because it makes sense.
Like the robot mode's kind of the big one to get right. So
this looks like a cleaner like jet mode than I think we've seen generally from Shatters, though, because wasn't the Studio Series Shatter just kind of iffy, even though that was just it's had robot mode and jet. I'm pretty sure the jet mode was still kind of just like meh. This looks better. It was kind of like,
yeah, you're doing your best.
Yeah, at the very least, this looks better than that, and it also has the car mode as well to boot. So. Do we know Metagate? Have they done stuff?
I don't know them off the top of my head. Let's see if they did anything. Metagate Transformers.
You said, and it even says on here, it's the G05, so...
Would imply more?
Yeah.
Okay, so they've done a third-party Age of Extinction Drift.
Have we talked about it?
It's on sale right now, so presumably.
Yeah.
That's GO1. What's GO2?
GO2.
We're gonna do research. GO2 was okay. So GO2 is GO4 is a toy I actually saw a review of during the week, which is a masterpiece. It's the masterpiece pterosaur with the funny face.
Oh.
Yeah. But also, I forgot they did that. Magic Square did a little chibi version of RC and Nightbird.
Oh, they're the ones with the giant heads, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't. I meant to pick up that RC because she wasn't super expensive. I get the feeling because like there's Geo2 Samurai, but I can't find any pictures of it. Geo5 is Shatter.
Right.
Skywing, Skywarp. It looks like, it looks like they've only done a couple of figures. Maybe Geo2 and 3 were concepts that never got made.
Well, if you said that Geo 4 was the pterosaur, we were not desperately kind to the pterosaur that we saw last week. If it's the same one.
Yeah. Did you watch have you seen a transformation of for it?
Yeah.
It was certainly interesting to see the big rod in the middle of it.
Yeah.
That was basically the entire robot.
Yeah.
The wings
maybe
were.
don't
I'll
be
give them
very
credit
helpful.
for the wings. That was like for all those panels, it was creative enough.
Yes.
I
think I'll go with what we said last week. It kind of looked cheap in a bad way. So maybe be concerned about how this will look when it's in prototype as well. Maybe they'll get better. I don't know.
Yeah, let's hope for the best.
Let's hope for the best. That's the best way for it, I suppose. But it's like, I don't know. I know you're still gagging for a good shadow, so maybe this will be the answer.
Because that bloody model kit that was announced 2 years ago, we haven't seen hide or hair of.
Oh fuck yeah, Jesus! I forgot about that.
So did they, apparently.
Really? Okay. Is it me next, Mikey? I think it's me next, right?
I believe it is you, yes.
Well, over from Hasbro China, they've got an exclusive Legacy Menasor Stunticon multi-pack set, so it is basically the 5 boys stuck in a random box. They seem to come in all of their individual packaging, but they also just come in one big fat box as well. The actual box that they come in is actually quite nice, I suppose.
Yeah, no, I think as a display thing, it's really cool.
Yeah, agreed. Might be nice if they could have tried to evoke like the old G1 box, but it's not a big issue, just a bit of presentation. But yeah.
I like the way you phrase that. It would have been nice. I mean, I'm not saying you had to do that, but I mean, it would just be a nice inclusion, really. I mean, it wasn't required. It would just been like, something to show you cared. It would be fine.
It's like if someone gives you like vanilla ice cream, Mikey. You could have put chocolate sauce on it. You could have put sprinkles on it. You could have put like anything on it. But you just gave me vanilla ice cream. I like vanilla ice cream, but where's the wow? Where's the pow to it? I need that pop.
I'm grateful for the free ice cream, but could you have actually made a fucking effort?
Yeah, come on. You just shit in a bowl. It just happens to be vanilla ice cream. Come on now. But yeah, it's good for the Japanese, the Chinese fans. They don't have to go through the faff of just picking one up per wave. They can just buy it all in one bundle, and it's boom done. Apparently, it's limited to. Hang on. There's a bit more here. There's individual boxes. Yeah. There's a special bonus pin. Both big box and pin are limited to 100 orders. So if you want this big box, there's only 100 of them.
Wow.
That's weird.
It is weird.
Do we see the pin? I don't see where the pin is. Oh, there it is. It's just G1 Menasor.
Yeah, it's not even the right Menasor.
No, yeah, it's weird. Okay. All right, fair enough.
See, I wish the pin was of the Legacy Menasor because he's the best Menasor. Officially.
Oh, wow. Officially.
Well, I still, as much as I friggin' didn't care about the show, the RID design is actually very good. For Menasor. It's just, you'll never see that toy, ever.
Which RID one? I don't remember.
2015.
Menasor from 2015.
Menasor was like one of the main antagonists in like season 3. I want to say.
Oh no! Sorry. You said RID. You know what I thought you meant? I thought you meant RID.
Yeah, no, not RID. I mean RID.
Yeah, for fuck's sake, Transformers. Yes. No, I would agree that Menasor's design in that show, the sequel to Transformers Prime, which was not, but okay. Exactly. Yeah, they had some really good designs.
Whatever you like.
Yeah.
Tell yourself, buddy.
They had great designs. I 100% agree with you. I hate talking about Transformers RID and Transformers RID and the comic Transformers RID. I hate it.
What about Robots in Disguise, the catchphrase?
Yes, that too. I hate it all. Different verbs, please. Different adjectives. I beg you, Hasbro. In the future.
Andy, did you know there was more than meets the eye?
Oh my god!
And I heard one guy fell.
One shall stand, Mikey. One shall fall.
Why is one guy standing?
I'm begging you for the future. Yeah. So this isn't much of a story, but it just means that the Chinese audience, so at least 100 of them, are gonna get a nice fancy box and a nice fancy pin. Hopefully they don't need to pay extra for it. Hopefully.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Mikey, tell me about cards and games of cards.
Yeah. According to Renegade Con Virtual 2023, a new deck building game is coming out. So there is the G.I. Joe deck building game, which I believe is from the same company that did the Transformers one, which I believe has been pretty well received. Is doing an expansion called New Alliances, which is a Transformers crossover. They meet up with Bumblebee, who goes on about Cobra. Cobra goes, yeah. Autobots and aliens and Decepticons go, yeah. And then they have to team up and figure out and basically bringing in different modes. What I'm assuming is it's actually going to bring in the rules from the other game with some new character art and stuff like that.
When you say the other game, which other game do you mean specifically?
The Transformers game.
Okay, it's just going to bring those rules to the G.I. Joe game as well.
I would suspect that is what Mikey is suspecting, yes.
Okay, that's fine.
He could be wrong.
Do you think it might have been better for, instead of just going to like the obvious Transformers thing, maybe they did Mask? And maybe use that IP for something?
I mean, does anyone really want to use the Mask IP for anything?
Yes. I think you could, like, it'd be a good tester to see, like, if people, granted, it's only for, like, cards and stuff, but I think, like, I guarantee you, Mikey, if they made any of the Mask guys for the classified line, the G.I. Joe, a lot of people would be really interested. Because I'm pretty sure when they did Mac Tracker for the 25th anniversary line, I think he was. Oh,
that's gone back a few years.
Yeah, I think people were really psyched for him because that's like the only other Matt Tracker figure we've ever had.
Yeah, he hasn't exactly been represented, have they?
No, because Hasbro doesn't do shit. Like, if I'd choose that, I'd even do like Abominations from Below, and you have the set where they cross over with Inhumanoids. That could be interesting.
Yeah,
just because it's using IP that like does not get touched at all, and Hasbro has in the back pocket. You don't need to do anything fancy. You're just putting a design on a bit of card, right? So it's not even that much of an investment. It's not like making a new toy and using molds and stuff. It's just get an artist, pay them, it's done. But I don't get me wrong. I understand why they chose Transformers, because it's the obvious IP to choose because it's probably their biggest one.
It's not.
What's the biggest one?
D&D, actually.
Mr. Potato Head?
D&D. It's like 80% of Hasbro revenue.
Jesus, really?
Which we all learned with the OGL stuff that's going on at the moment.
Oh, wow.
So it turned out that, yes, as it is, without them having to monetize extra, D&D is making 80% of Hasbro's global earnings, which went up by 1.5 billion, and they're still trying to get more money off you.
Is this why people got, well, apart from other reasons, is this why it got so heated like last week or the week before with the whole D&D or Magic the Gathering controversy? Was it D&D or was it Magic the Gathering?
It was D&D.
Okay. I didn't really know too much about it because I don't play the game. But
do you want to know?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, why not?
Okay, so I actually have a professional stake in this now, so I suppose I better show interest.
Professional stake?
Yes, I am making money off of D&D at the moment.
Oh my god! Wow.
So there is this thing called the OGL, which is the original gaming license, I think it is, or I don't know what the O stands for, but it basically came in about 20 years ago and was basically a means for D&D to give the okay for people to make unofficial third-party content without risk of being sued.
Yeah.
And basically, it means that you can make stuff as long as you follow certain rules and don't include certain materials. You can make stuff that are using the D&D rules and everything else, and can be expansions on the D&D handbook. You can do websites like Roll20 and that use D&D rules and whatnot without having to go through official channels. And in general, basically, it allows for a lot of creativity and a lot of people get into the game.
That sounds like a good way to just like pull extra people in.
Yeah, that was the point. The guys behind it were like long-term fans, and they made a lot of effort to get it up and running. And they're not happy at the moment either. The people who originally made it. But in last year, Wizard of the Coast saw a change in their head people and a few other things.
Oh, no.
And their CEO came over, and she's a woman who made her money marketing microtransactions in online games and mobile games. And the first thing she did was say she wanted to find a way to monetize D&D more. Yeah. So, it got leaked that there was going to be the OGL 1.1A, which would basically mean... So the first thing was that if you pass a certain threshold in your earnings from your product, you have to pay a certain percentage of D&D. The percentage varies. If you're under like 200,000, it's like 5% or something like that. But if you're at like over 700,000, it's a lot of money. Many expansion packs wouldn't be supported on D&D Beyond anymore, which is the official thing, except for ones they already have licenses with, like Critical Role or stuff like that.
Right.
It also means that if you made anything for D&D, theoretically, because they've been very careful in the wording to give them a lot of leeway, theoretically, say you do, like we're doing that expansion book on the dinosaurs. So we do it, it comes out, maybe we'd be squeaking under the OGL wire, maybe wouldn't, but theoretically D&D could then come along and say, right, we want to use all your material, and we'd say, well, no, we don't want you to, and they'd say, well, fuck it, OGL 1.1 says anything published with the words D&D or Dungeons and Dragons in the book, as like saying like you can use it for D&D, is ours. And it doesn't matter if you put your life's blood into it, it's ours. Gimme. And then they literally shove you over in the street and run off with all your gear and say, mine.
I mean,
they don't give you anything for it, by the way.
When you said the lady was one of the people behind microtransactions, I did make a prejudgment on her that she's just an evil person.
Sometimes prejudice is real, Andy.
I mean...
she also people in Wizard of the Coast now who are like they're like some hardcore like tabletop gamers and that they're leaking like management does not give two shits and they have quoted saying like management sees customers as an impedance on their ability to make money. Yeah. So the only way, and like they want to up the subscription. They want to limit what you can get from a single subscription on D&D Beyond. Right. So you'd get less free money, which means you'd have to pay more money, and then they want to up the price of it as well. So in a period of a week, D&D Beyond lost, was it 40,000 subscribers?
Good.
So 40,000 cancellations. Now, obviously, they're still active because it's a year-long subscription, unfortunately. Yeah. But basically, like, you ain't getting no more money out of us as long as this bullshit's going on. So what players want is for them to bring in the OGL. If they're, like, basically make sure that any changes they make to the OGL, basically don't change it would be whatever anyone wants. But the important thing is, like, certain things are sacrosanct. You know? And the people who made it said, we intended for these things to be sacrosanct. It just didn't occur to us that 20 years later some arsehole would come and, you know, use a form of gaming that had not actually been invented in our day.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, we weren't prescient. And yeah, meanwhile, Pathfinder, which is another tabletop game that spun out of D&D and kind of became its own thing.
I think it's pretty popular as well, Pathfinder, for the most part.
Very, very popular. Yeah. They made an official statement saying they are going to, they have confirmed with their lawyers that if they did change the OGL, it would be almost impossible to, in most cases, almost impossible to actually follow up on any of the changes you did. But they've also said that we are officially releasing the open gaming source, or whatever they're going to call it, which is an official statement saying if you're playing Pathfinder, you have full access to all our material in perpetuity, permanently. We will never try to, if you do third-party material, we will never try and take money off you. Basically, have fun in our game and play our game, which basically means that suddenly there's a lot of people moving over to this whole new system.
Why would they do that?
Yeah, it's almost like when one company sees, like, I'm not exactly saying Pathfinder's doing it out of the goodness of their heart.
No, of course not.
Because they saw blood in the water. Yeah. But last time this happened was when they brought in D&D version 4, which was apparently absolute crap, and there was like mass people leaving the game until they brought in version 5, which is the current one. But the important thing for the OGL basically is D&D, more than you realize, kind of relies on fan-made content.
I would imagine that's true. Yeah, because like people have to write campaigns, like in that sense as well. That's like fan-created stuff.
Yeah, like we're doing the stories.
There's huge amount of fan involvement. It's not like you buy a thing and you get the thing. You buy the rules and then you have to play with your imagination instead of events. So it's, I could see, like, more so than most things, it would involve a lot more fan interaction, and like reducing that to payers or go fuck yourself is really, really poor sight. It's not bad form.
No, and it's not done. Like they technically the date they were supposed to have the new OGL release passed, and they said, "Oh, we're working on it." And then they released an official statement on D&D Beyond, which was the most backslapping. We hear you, and we understand you aren't happy. I think the last of it said like, "We are going to make changes to our updated OGL 1.1a," and some people are going to say that they won. But really, we all won.
No, fuck you.
And then 2 days later, there was another leak saying like, yeah, they're going to try and change the wording and hope you all forget it. And like,
it really does like make you think that like these companies, not the people who make the rules and stuff like that, but the people at the top don't see you as a customer. You know, the whole thing, customers are always right. They just see you as like little pay pig to give them money.
Why aren't you giving them money?
I think the meme is consumer, isn't it? You're not a customer, you're a consumer.
Why do you want Rise of the Beast to be good? Just go see the movie.
Yeah, stop asking questions.
Why are you asking me if it's like Babe? No, just go see the movie. It's got a monkey in it. Go see it.
I guess when Hasbro's doing so well monetarily, which I think they are doing.
Yeah, again, they made 1.5 billion on D&D last year, I think. Their profits are up.
Yeah, and you got to wonder, like, they're cutting back on things. And go away, little message thing. They're making so much money on products, but it also still feels like they are cutting corners with things. Like with Marvel Legends, they could come with a lot more accessories. They clearly could be better. G.I. Joe feels like a decent priced line at the moment. Transformers varies, right, from figure to figure. It almost feels like some of them are really well done, and then some of them are just cheap, kind of no quality control on them.
Yeah, very much the same with Power Rangers as well.
I think it's across all of Hasbro. They've got these massive differences in like quality control and what things come with and what they don't come with. There's no consistency in pricings all across the board. Just keeps on going up. It's madness, and they're making loads of fucking money.
Yeah, and Power Rangers is hilarious because like the rumor is that Hasbro regrets buying them.
Really? Why?
Because they weren't as much of a money spinner and like having to produce the show yourself. Which is interesting to me because they've actually gone like most of the new show is supposed to be original material, except they're just using like all the suits and stuff are American made, and they've gone with that horrible like fake sculpted chest and abs. That like no, don't do that. That was a bad idea when Bandai tried to do it with the toys.
They've tried to do that for years. I remember it was like was it Zeo? Where it's like there was the one where it had the clear like massive abs, massive pecs, and there was the giant backpack, and you're like, that's a toy. As a child, you're like, that's a toy advert. I know that.
Yep. But
that's weird.
It's Hasbro is I think since Goldner went, they're going through a big transition, and Goldner, like businessman, everything else, but he did feel like he understood who he was dealing with.
Yeah, like it's meant to be for kids, but it's clearly they don't care about the kids. They care about how much money can we squeeze out of parents or just people in general.
Absolutely. Like it's become very much a business.
I'm not saying there should be an altruistic toy company like make high quality toys at like a fraction. Go fuck off, Game Order, for a fraction of the price. But you need to still consider like what are kids gonna buy? Are they gonna buy an expensive toy or are they gonna buy a video game? Or what are you gonna convince the parents to buy for them? An expensive video game or one expensive figure?
Yeah, and it's an awkward one because like D&D, you had the gaming thing going for you, you know?
Yeah, 100%. And it's got such a boom during like lockdown, right?
Very much so. Very, very much so. So many people are playing it now who never would have touched it before. And again, someone that guy at Hasbro showed up again and said we could be making money on something. We're making a lot of money, but we could be making more money, which is all it comes down to in the end of the day for people at the top, because they're not running a toy company, they're running a company.
Yeah.
They came in to do a business, and that's what you need. You do not need the highest decisions in the CEOs to be made by people who actually love the thing, like, because you and I both know how badly that can go.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
But it's also important to know that you need someone in there who cares, who can stand up for the person who does care. Because otherwise, the only people being represented are the CEOs. And
CEOs
that's not me saying,
and the investors as well. Let's not forget
investors.
investors.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And like, I'm not saying that because like I said, I've got a stake in this D&D thing. I'm saying it because that is literally just the world we're living in.
Yeah, I agree. It's a shame.
But, so if you have a D&D Beyond thing, normally I wouldn't say this, but to be blunt, the entire industry is about to change if you don't cancel your subscription.
Yeah,
Because
pretty much.
they're not going to listen to anything else.
You have to vote with your wallet.
Yep. So, or
Unfortunately.
go play Pathfinder.
Yeah. I mean, sounds like if you don't like Pathfinder, I'm sure there are other systems you can try out as well.
Oh, yeah.
For much less.
But it's if nothing else, it's interesting. But
TF Mike says, does D&D even have moon bases?
it can. It's D&D. It can have whatever you want.
Oh, well, there you go.
There's a space expansion. I was looking at it a couple of days ago. Like a guy who's like doing a whole space expansion or something like that.
No.
So I mean, that's what I kind of find fascinating about the third party aspect, because if you just let it to Wizards of the Coast, it would be 5 elves and a fairy chasing an orc. And like what people have turned it into is absolutely fascinating.
Yeah.
Like homebrew rules and everything else, and the fact D&D Beyond and Roll20 let you work with that was so important. But hey, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I guess you gotta roll that dice. Let's move on, Mr. Mikey, and talk about a weird thing that we kind of talked about pre-show, which has now kind of gone away again. We have the Transformers Earth Wave 1, or Earth Spark Wave 1 is apparently out, or the Earth Wave 1 Tacticons. I can't remember. What are the Tacticons? They're the quick changes, the flip changes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're only £6. Okay, that's fine. And also, the buzzworthy Bumblebee Creature Collide set is out as well. It did come out on Game, which is our GameStop kind of place, basically. It was out on there for a very short amount of time for £15. I was told about it, but thought to myself, do I really want it for £15?
See, I would have wanted 2 of them, which is the bugs. I would have liked Ransack, and I would have liked Skywasp.
I would have only really wanted Ransack. I didn't really want anything else. And even then, what in my head I played out, did I really, really want Ransack? Or would I have just got Ransack just because? And in my head, I went, I'd just be getting Ransack for the sake of it. And then I'd be struggling to get rid of the other ones. Like, I wouldn't have minded, what was it, Skywasp? He was okay.
Skywasp. Yeah.
The Scorponok is just no one says anything good about that mold.
I like how weird it is. It's very strange.
It says it's also pretty bad floppy wise as well. Like the legs on it are shite.
It is that, yes.
Yeah, and he's got weird proportions. And then there's the Bumblebee. Oh, sorry, the Gold Bug, which is I don't care. I don't care about Shipwreck or whatever they called in that Dr. Smooth video from years ago.
God, that is going back a few years.
Yeah. Oh wow. Yeah. Long time. But that's out now. Like I say, I think I don't know if it's still being sold in game for £15. It's not on the website being sold for that much now. It's gone back up, I think, to what did we see it for? £44.
45.
£45. Yeah, which is still, it's not the worst price ever for 4 figures, but yeah. Mikey,
like it's cheaper than 2 figures.
It is. Game's also doing Motor Master for 44. Mikey mentioned before the show started, it seemed to still be in stock. So if you want to go to the Game's website and buy those things, you can do. I mentioned to Mikey as well.
If you happen to be coming over to Ireland at any point, would like to mule one for me, because customs is killing me from shopping from the UK. Yeah. Customs and shipping at the moment is an absolute arsehole. Thank you so much, world.
No worries. No problem. I'd like to buy things from America, but it's too much money. I got Simon Tang sent me a thing saying, "Hey Andy, are you interested in Mythic Legion stuff?" And I was like, "Yes, but also
it's really cool.
Mikey, it's really mean because the next kind of big Mythic Legion stuff that they're doing is like Undead Necronomicus.
Yeah, I saw those.
Yeah, and there's the Grim Reaper kind of guy in like material clothing. There's an undead like builder set, which is one dude that comes with loads of pieces to kind of like switch him around. Problem 1, the Grim Reaper dude on his own is like $44, pretty expensive. The zombie dude $60, and yeah, again, if that was like just £60, it's rough, but I could probably do it, maybe. not accounting for shipping from the US, which is I think flat shipping from the US to the UK is about £30.
It's 20
pounds.
to Ireland.
Yeah, I think it's more to the UK, to be honest. And then you've got VAT, which I don't ever know what VAT is going to be, and then you've got import VAT on top of that. So if it's a $40 figure, you add I don't know what £30 is in dollars, probably like £49 probably. So let's say that takes us up to 90, and then VAT easily pushes that 44 figure up to into the hundreds. It's a real bummer. I'm like, oh. I'd like to get it, but not that much, you know. Any thoughts on Game, Mikey? Apart from just being annoyed that you don't get them deals?
Yeah, I'm glad Game closed over here.
Can you go to... Does Northern Ireland have Game?
Yes.
Can you go to a Northern Ireland place and steal from them?
So would I... Do you know how much it would cost me to get to Northern Ireland?
I have no idea.
I mean, it's even if I just drove, it's not a short drive.
Isn't it? Okay. I don't know where you live. No. I know it's Ireland.
Yeah. I know it's somewhere in a country.
Yeah, I know that you live near a forest where the murder crows live, and that's about it. That's it. I didn't really investigate too hard because that would be weird, Mikey. That would be. It
would.
Well, I'll mention that the last bit of news is that James Roberts is going to be attending TF Nation 2023. I was going to say 2030. But that's not for another 7 years.
I will put money down. I will put money down.
That he will be there in 2023. Sorry, 2030. Yes, you could be right.
Yes. I think it is highly, highly probable.
I think it is highly probable as well. But if
at this stage, they're going to have to have a day where they just say, James, you're not coming. Yes, I am. No, James. No.
I mean, if you haven't had the chance to see James Robert, this will be the year that you will get to see him.
The last year James will ever be allowed at TF Nation.
I can guarantee you this. It will be the last time in 2023 James Roberts will be at TF Nation in 2023.
Specifically the one in Birmingham.
Yes. He will never be at that convention that year ever again. Next year, maybe. Probably. This year, no. Maybe. Yeah, exactly. That's all of our news.
Nick's at that mini-con or whatever it is.
The TF Nation minicon in Manchester.
Yeah. Oh,
there you go. TF Mike says £30 is $37 and change in US dollars. Okay, it's still doubles the price, pretty much. It's still pretty expensive.
Not too cheap.
No, not for me and the Mikey who, have to go
down. We are not made of money.
We have to go down to the docks and suck off some sailors every now and again to get money. You know how it is.
No, I work in a school.
Oh.
You Andy, have you been at the docks again?
I need money, Mikey. I've got a problem. I've got lots of problems.
Andy, they don't have any money. Those are Cheetos.
Retail therapy helps with a lot of stuff, and a Cheeto fills an empty stomach. I don't know what to tell you, buddy. Right, so that's all of the news. Unless you've got anything else rumbling around in that little brain of yours, Mikey, for Transformers news.
Nothing that can be said in public.
Oh, Jesus. Well, okay. What have you been up to this week, Mikey? What have you done for fun, son?
So what did I do this week?
Yeah.
I meant actually to have Nier caught up on.
The anime. What are they on?
Yeah.
Episode 3 now? Episode
3 this week. I meant to have it watched. I didn't get a chance because I was watching something else, to be completely honest. But the scuttlebutt is they've already started changing things, which honestly you need to. Because trying to release... Again, it's just so tied into that medium.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah. So I will be catching up on that, but not yet, apparently.
Okay.
I did watch Geats, episode 19.
Oh.
Which is kind of still good. I would say this was what I'd call a largely unremarkable episode. Just because, hey, it's another we're on to the part where okay, people are losing the game now.
Is it a toy pushing episode?
Not really. It's the idea at the game at the moment is that there's 5 of them. They're all doing reality TV show, living with each other and doing interviews now and stuff like that. And that's you know how the recaps of Framing Device. The Framing Device this time is hey, it's them doing questions for their big brother. But the idea now is that they've got to beat the game, and in the middle of it all, there is a traitor who the disaster or the desire star, or whatever it is. And if that person like makes it to the end, their job is to sabotage everything. And if they're like one of the last two, they win by default. Basically, it's
Among Us. Yeah. Oh my God. Has anyone been called a sussy backer in the game yet?
Kawa Tycoon was like, that was the thing. Like, is he the traitor? And it was just like, that is the least likely person to be the traitor because Jesus. They introduced two new people. They eliminated one already. The way I think it's going to go, it's either going to be... I don't think it's going to be one of the new people who's a traitor. I think it's going to be either Cat Lady or Geets himself.
Is the really old man still there?
No, he didn't make it past... He was in the last game.
Damn. I like that really old man because clearly he was just a burden on everybody.
Yeah, and his whole thing like, what's your wish? I want to be young. I want to be hip like the kids.
Yeah, I wish he hadn't said he wanted to be hip, but like, you know, he said he wants to be young. I'm like, yeah, no, that makes sense. I get that. It's a good motivation thing. Not possible because you're gonna die, but that's okay. If you dream,
well, not if he keeps winning.
I mean, you mentioned he didn't, so
yeah. But like, if he won every single round, you could say like, my wish is to win every single round.
He'd be like the old dude from Squid Games, right?
Oh God,
just manages to make it through to the end.
Yeah,
he's the bastard, though.
Yeah. But so yeah, it wasn't like a dramatic episode or anything like that, but yeah, it's got stuff and things going on in it, which was fun, and some new stuff with Michinaga with Buffa as well, which was good.
Nice.
A lot for him, a lot of setup. I think it's going to be a setup for a couple of episodes.
He feels very much like the Ren, the Kamen Rider Ryuki Ren of the series,
yeah,
right? The grumpy boy.
Yeah, I saw that they've got their character songs recorded, so we'll probably start hearing them soon. But yeah, no, Geeks is still a good show. It's just like I'm at that stage where like, this is fun. Remember, this format has to keep advancing. You have to keep coming up with the story and everything else, because the big problem with this is falling into the comfort of being able to just say like, every 5 to 6 episodes we reset the game. Like, it needs to be progressing, always progressing.
How do you think it stacks up against Revice so far, from where it's up to compared to where Revice was?
Well, at this stage in Revice, we were just wrapping up the first Demon stuff, which was really, really strong. I think overall it's a stronger show.
Okay, that's good.
I think the action is about the same, just different direction, but good action. I think the characters in this are better established, and because of their approach to the toys are much more naturally integrated than they've been, since Exade? If I actually think about it. Like, the fact that they swap them so easily, like, okay, he's most associated with Magnum, but I mean, he hasn't used Magnum in ages.
Okay.
On its own. And like the fact that they get reset every game and they can swap around and anyone can use anyone, and like but like, again, there are still ones that you're associated with that works best with your driver in comparison to everyone else's. That means like, I think that's a good idea for this story, like specifically this kind of like, you're going into Fortnite and you're looking for resources and picking up all the weapons and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's I always thought it was like weird when they just the random pickups seem so literally random, like they come out of nowhere. Like, you don't, because it's just, it's a secret pickup, you get this thing because he randomly did this thing out of nowhere. It almost seems so
they've explained that.
Oh, they did? Okay, that's good, because where I'm up to, it's just, hey, you did a thing. Like,
all I'm going to say is not so random.
Okay, good. But potentially good, I suppose.
A bit more rigged than you might expect.
Oh, no.
Well, I guarantee you, like, if this was Exade and this was the approach they were doing, I would absolutely guarantee you there was going to be something about monetization in here. Since Geets is very much more about... The game matters, but the game is also, like, evolving constantly. I don't know if they'll do it, but, like, the fact that they've really touched on, like, reality TV and a lot of other stuff now, I honestly could see them going, like, oh, yeah, and we decided, like, people can pay the audience can pay us, right? And then you get like extra things or new enemies or any. It's going to be so cool, and they're going to love it. And really, it's for them.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Oh, that'd be good. That'd be fun if they said that. Like and subscribe on the episode. Like and subscribe to my because one of the ladies is a streamer, isn't she?
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be great. I don't think she said like and subscribe though, has she?
No, but she's like a public like streamer. Her thing is more like outdoors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Technically, Ace could do that as well because like his last wish was like, or one of the last wishes he made was like, I want to be like the most famous, richest guy in the world because fuck it, why not?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's a fair point.
Which he didn't need to be. He just did it because he's testing the. He's testing
petty.
The waters.
Yeah, he's petty.
Yeah, he's very petty.
Yep.
If there's one thing that we can definitely say about him, it is that he is a petty man.
Until we find out he's not.
I think he's still going to be petty, but it's like that pettiness has a reason. But yeah, and they're still building his mystery as well.
Yeah.
Which is good. But no, I think I would say, surprisingly, Andy, I think a show written by the guy who wrote Exade both understands the concept of doing something gamey and also is good.
Yes, and it isn't just like overridden by make toy thing now.
No, it's like what if toy was part of thing?
Yeah.
What?
Write it into script. Don't just write toy to be the thing. That's what we did in the 80s.
Yeah, I love the idea of like he came in and said like, okay, so we're going to integrate this new power up, and like power ups aren't going to matter that much because of the way we're doing the thing, but we're going to integrate this new power up into this thing, and they all just sort of stand and stare at me and just like integrate.
What? Say what?
What's this crazy man talking about?
Madness, I tell thee, madness.
So yeah, I got a box as well, but I want to talk about some things I watched first. But so I went to see PC yesterday. She's in good form. She says hi.
Good for PC.
Good for PC. Anyone who doesn't get that reference, you have not been around long enough.
I think that's a boon for them rather than a detriment. To be fair.
But she, I was there all day, and she wanted to watch some things, and she wanted to watch a movie.
Was she not just trying to get rid of you? By that point.
Considering her choice.
What'd she choose?
And she said, okay, we're watching a movie. We're going to pick something I haven't seen and I don't know anything about. Mm-hmm. Okay. And she put on, and I wasn't allowed to leave because she said, oh, I'm making you food as well, so sit down. It's already in the oven. She put on Thor Love and Thunder.
What was the food?
It was garlic bread and some takeaway shit.
What was the takeaway shit? This is important. She
was having Chinese. What did I have?
I guess the question is, more so than anything, was it good food that you had? Like, did you enjoy it?
All right, it wasn't amazing.
I was trying to figure if she was sending mixed messages of I fucking hate you, but also I really like you. Here's some nice food. That's why I was trying to gauge.
I hate you, but I want you to suffer. Yeah. So yeah, I had never seen it, and she had never seen it, and she wanted to watch it. So we watched it. Andy. Your preemptive thoughts of what I'm about to say.
Well, I would hope, if you say you like it, I will lose respect for you. Not much to lose, granted, but I will have lost respect for you. I would assume you'd be like, wow, Taika Waititi turned up to 11, who thinks he's very funny still, and it's not.
Yeah. For context, anyone listening, hello, hi.
Hello.
I don't like Thor Ragnarok.
No, it's bad.
I think it's a very bad film.
It is.
And I think what it has is a few sincere moments, which it undermines. But it undermines in a way that makes the other Marvel undermining actually seem professional.
Which is saying something.
What Thor Love and Thunder has is no sincerity. It is an incredibly insincere, cheap, dead movie that is very aware it's telling a joke and will not realize that the joke has gone on too long, because Thor was a part of jokes in Ragnarok. He is the joke in Love and Thunder. Nothing, and it's not even like nothing's taken seriously. Nothing's funny.
No.
Not one laugh from either of us for 2 hours.
But to be fair, the boon I see is neither of you killed yourselves or each other.
She was so mad.
She picked the film.
Was so mad.
She chose this fate.
She was like, she spent like 20 minutes afterwards complaining about it.
That's like someone eating a glass bottle and being like, my mouth is bleeding. Yeah, no shit.
But she, like, the villain is... They start off with a villain who's like, okay, this seems vaguely serious, and then he's like the Joker.
It's a shame because I think, like, one, I like Gore the God Butcher in general. Like in the comic, I think his story was quite good in the comics, and I think from the bits that I've seen, Christian Bale is good, but that's not surprising.
Here's the thing: all
He's good.
The actors are giving it their fucking all in this film.
I don't know about Tessa Thompson. Is it Tessa Thompson, Valkyrie? Yeah. I don't know about
everyone is giving a good performance in this film. I mean, everyone who's given a performance is like, cool, you're delivering the lines to the best of your ability. But the lines are shit, and the story is atrocious. And oh my god, you know, a lot of people like Jane Foster, the Mighty Thor, like as a comic character. You know, she's very popular.
Really? Okay.
Yes, people like. I haven't read much of her stuff, but people like the story. They like the pathos of the whole cancer element. And so on and so on. And the fact that after years and years, it culminated in her passing on and restoring Thor's powers and everything else. And then she came back. I think she's a Valkyrie now.
Yes, yeah.
People really liked that. They tried to put that story into this film.
Alongside with Gore the God Butcher. Alongside
Gore the God Butcher.
Alongside with all the jokes.
Alongside with all the gods. Zeus, everything is a gag. Every fucking thing. Zeus does a pirouette.
Yeah.
While doing a bad Italian accent.
Well, that's Greek, Mikey. What are you talking about?
Is it?
Yeah, sure.
Is it really?
Yeah, sure.
But like then for like half a second they'll say Jane Foster's dying. Oh, yeah, but I should have a catchphrase about taste my hammer.
Because it's a penis, Mikey.
Mm.
It's a reference to a dog. Did you like the bit where Thor got a new power, which was he was able to gift his power to like loads of children?
Yeah, that was weird. Or what was it PC said? She one thing she hated was when they were arguing about who left who, and it's just like she just went, but she left him. We saw her leave him.
Yeah. And
she was looking at me like, what? We saw her leave him. And do you know what the worst thing is?
I can't pick.
Terrible, awful, like toot pulling movie, and I don't even think people who like Ragnarok will like this because it's not. It's just the same jokes, but the cinematography and the world design is brilliant. The CGI art, not the CGI director, because the director, since a lot of this movie is scenery and CG scenery, he just told him generally what he wanted and said, yeah, that's right. Or he got involved, but they were the ones designing it. They were the ones doing the lighting. They were the ones doing everything, every blade of grass. And that work is stellar. The shadow world they go to is so well lit and so well designed. The shots they've taken from the comics with that giant like god thing who was like the nicest god you'd ever meet. That is really well designed. Just this general feeling that there were people in the creative, like Doctor Strange, there were people on the creative side of this who were like so talented and so good at what they did, and they created these wonderful sceneries, and their work is forever associated with this Drek. Like, I know it got the money, but like we also know they were overworked and underpaid. They worked stupid hours, they didn't get paid enough, and you know their work for a company that is now like publicly known to treat its CGI workers very badly is now associated with a terrible film that will like still go into like what Mojo's best Marvel movies.
Oh God!
I watched just because I got shared. Watch Mojo's top 10 most powerful mechs.
Why would you watch anything from Watch Mojo?
Who was, I believe the Turn A was number 7.
Okay. What was number 1?
Tengen Top and Gurren Lagann.
I mean, I don't really care about who's more powerful, but I guess, sure.
Yeah. I think Unicorn was like 3 or 4.
I guess it time travels, so yeah, sure.
Yeah, Gao Gai Gao was 6.
Mm-hmm. I don't have any opinion because I don't care about Watch Mojo.
Yeah.
They're the
No.
worst.
No, but like I was just like, wow, there's a lot of real robots in this list.
Well, no, they're not. Like, Unicorn Gundam's not a real robot.
No, Andy, it is. It's a real robot. It's a real robot. It's a real. No, it's Gundam, Andy. It's totally serious.
Yes.
It's not powered by. There isn't a scene in Unicorn where the bad guy gets sucked out by the ghosts of the three previous protagonists. That didn't happen. It's a serious grounded show.
It is, and then it isn't. That's how I always describe Gundam. It is until it isn't.
The sequel doesn't have a Gundam that's literally possessed by a woman's soul fly off into space.
NT was fucking atrocious. That is a bad Gundam. Well, that's another bad Gundam film.
I've got the narrative to build somewhere, but yeah. So yeah, but yeah. No. If I'd give Ragnarok a 3 or a 4, this would be a 1 or a 2.
I think from what I know, Love and Thunder might be one of Marvel's worst movies.
I think it is, and my God, I hate that bit where it does love is her name. Fuck off.
Because oh man, it's aggressively bad. I don't think it doesn't destroy the world and the setting as much as like Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness does. But it's just so aggressively unpleasant to watch. Like, if you don't think about Multiverse of Madness, it's fine.
It's a very pretty movie.
Yeah, that's all it's got. It's got nothing else to it. It's really hard picking a decent Marvel movie that's been out in this phase 4. Is that what we were on? Phase 4? Hard to pick a good one.
It hasn't been well received over. It's not being well received by Marvel fans.
No, they're a bit late to the party, but that's okay.
But yeah, it was a very bad experience. I'll be completely honest. I would not like to repeat. Like, it wasn't just that it was bad; it was painful to watch. It was just so aggressively awful. Like that's the word to describe it. Aggressively awful.
Yeah. I like to believe that when you left PC's house, you slapped her and said, "I'm never coming back here again." With a glove, obviously. I will never come back here again.
If I slap her, it's in the face with a hand. But then
bless you.
Then I don't know why I said bless me, but so then she decided, no, it's time for more TV.
Oh, okay, that's good. Something to wash the palate clean, right?
Yeah, so she picked Final Space.
I don't know what that is.
So
I saw you talk about this, and I thought you were like, this was referencing like a comic or a Godzilla thing that I had no idea about.
Well, no, I did also read. I read Mighty Morphin Power Rangers versus Godzilla this week, and
maybe that was the confusion.
It is way too in love with the fact that it's camp.
In a bad way?
Yeah, in that way, it's just like, we're really self-aware. It's like, no, you see, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, all the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossovers with Power Rangers and stuff, they work because you're taking it seriously. This was written by someone who was just like, it's funny because my Megazord and Godzilla.
All right, so
Final Pace, I will find you a poster.
I've just Google searched it, and it feels like I'm already not going to enjoy it, or wouldn't enjoy it. It feels like, is it Rick and Morty-ish feeling?
So I saw the trailer. This came out first season came out. It was part of the HBO murdering that happened recently.
Okay.
So it's actually been written off as a tax write-off. So once it's off Netflix, it's never allowed to be shown on TV again.
Is that a bad thing?
So I saw the post. I saw the trailer years ago, and it was the most Rick and Morty badly edited trailer I'd seen. I saw the poster. Yeah. How to say this?
Okay.
I haven't cried that much in years.
Was it really that bad?
Andy, watch this.
Oh, it's good.
I don't know if you'll love it as much as I did.
Okay.
But it is not Rick and Morty.
Well, that's good.
At times it's more Futurama, but it's not Rick and Morty. It is a serialized space drama with wacky comedy. It is exceptionally well written, in my opinion. It has amazing character development. The animation itself is really high quality. The voice work is absolutely stellar. Like, David Tennant's so good in it. I didn't know it was David Tennant until someone told me.
Yeah, he's a good voice actor. He was good in DuckTales.
Yeah. It is not afraid to break you. It wants you to get upset.
Okay.
And it has phenomenal kaiju designs of all things, and really good kaiju animation when kaiju are relevant.
Will I like it more than what's it called, Lower Decks, which you said I might like once I got past a certain point?
I think you would definitely like it a lot more because this is way, way, way more serious.
Okay, it's a show.
It's goofy and it's dumb, but it's also very sincere and has a lot of heart. And genuinely, I think I had a full-on ugly cry at the end. Yeah, I did. I had a full-on ugly cry at the end.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And season 2, was
PC just stood there like stone-faced, looking at you like, you girl. She just didn't care.
Like, all you heard in the corner was. I watched season 2. I do think season 2 isn't as good as season 1. It's got some very good stuff in it, and
how many episodes per season? Is it 13 episodes per season?
I think it's 10 for season 1 and it's 13 for season 2.
Okay.
But I did a little background reading today, and it was like basically season 1 they were left to their own devices. Season 2 executive came in and said we wanted a bit more episodic and we want a bit of gross out humor. And like the show has violence in it, but it was not gross out humor. Like there's a scene which basically I can only define as the P Wars in season 2, which they basically said the writers didn't really want to put it in, but then the executive made them put it in. And then apparently they take the foot off the gas again. Like the executives aren't as interested in it in season 2 because it didn't get as much attention. So they got to do season 3 the way they wanted to. And then they had a season 4 all planned, and then HBO Max and Discovery merger was going on in the background, and it got the show cancelled. And they were thinking like, oh, we'll like do a movie. And then no, they did not do a movie because it all got written off for tax reasons. So it's like Mega Sexual R now. It will never be finished.
Yay!
And it can never be shown again legally. At least not for many, many years. I think Megas is like on air somewhere in the world right now.
So it's one of those things. If you acquire it, don't get rid of it.
Basically, the first 2 seasons can be bought physically, and it's on Netflix until the end of the year. But season 3 will never have a physical release, and after it comes off of Netflix internationally, you cannot watch it in the US right now.
Yeah. So buy the official release, so you have a physical version forever and ever and ever. And then basically steal everything else. And I would also say have a digital release, because one day your physical release will no longer be relevant unless you buy old technology. But I was really fucking impressed. He's working on something new, the guy behind this. I'm going to be checking that out. I was shocked. I've never really done this much. I had a mouth open moment of just like the end of an episode, and I was literally just sitting there with my jaw agape, and I was just like, what? And like, that doesn't really happen very often. Yeah, like I'm probably to people listening to this, I'm probably overselling it somehow, but like really, I was that invested. Like this is like, wow, it's not Primal, but it is definitely the other best adult animation I've seen in years. Oh, okay, that's good.
And yeah, it got no good reviews from the critics, or very few good reviews from critics for season 1, which I can only assume is because they're idiots.
I was gonna say, do you know what the issues that the reviewers had on it? What were the?
They said it wasn't funny enough.
Oh,
except it's trying to be funny, but that's not the point.
It's not primarily a comedy. It's like space adventure that has comedy in it, kind of thing.
Yeah, well, it's wacky, but like it has bathos. It runs on bathos, but the bathos is very well handled. Like good bathos. I
can't remember what that is anymore, Mike.
Basically, oh look, something dramatic happened. Bit of a joke, something dramatic, and then at the end, something big is happening, and you just sit there and you watch.
It's been so long since I had good bathos, Mikey. So long.
But like the way the characters develop, they changed so much over 2 seasons.
That's good. Wow, growth. Yeah. Who knew?
Yeah, Final Space. I retroactively mad about something I was not mad about yesterday.
Damn.
So apart from that, I got Box.
Oh shit!
With the last of the Christmas purchases.
Oh shit!
So I'll go from these in order of size. I got the build-up Bandai Clippers.
Oh yeah, I saw your picture of that. I was like, "Yay, Clippers!" Not the God Hand.
No, they're not God Hand, but they're a big improvement over the ones I had.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
And they were only they were on sale, so I got them for a tenner.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah.
I also got on sale for a tenner in the same box a McFarlane Superman the Animate, not Justice League, even though it is very much Justice League, because it's using that design. A Superman animated series, The Flash, Michael Rosenbaum himself. So, as a standalone sculpt, visually, really good display piece. As a figure, I'm glad I did not pay the 25 I saw this thing going for in Forbidden Planet.
Oh, God.
It's got loads and loads and loads of problems.
What are the issues with it then, Mikey?
Okay, so out of the box, it took me about half an hour to get the joints moving.
Oh, God. Okay.
There's a lot of mold flash and a lot of stress joints out of the box.
I see what you did there.
Yep. But loads of stress marks. Stress
marks? Okay, that's not good.
Yeah, it looks like basically where it was cut badly, so the toy stressed. It feels flimsy enough. It's all ratchet joints and everything else, and they're fighting you. And some of them, I know the head turns because I've seen reviews show the head turns, but it will not turn for me. I might, if I cared enough, I'd heat it up. But it feels cheap. Yeah,
the plastic doesn't feel nice on McFarlane's stuff, does it?
No, it really doesn't.
No.
This doesn't feel like it's Marvel Legends quality. This feels like it's a notable step down.
Yeah, it's not like you touch it and it feels like gummy plastic, but it doesn't feel solid, does it?
No, it doesn't. And
weird.
The fact that as well the plastic is one of the toes is it wasn't put on the pin properly, so and it looks like they didn't cut it right, so it's sticking out a little bit. He holds the pose well, surprisingly well, and he comes with a stand, and he comes with an effect part and a couple of hands. But
a stand is generous.
But yeah, as something you just boom put down, leave on a shelf in a pose, and look nice. It's a good representation of one of my favorite animated characters. Just don't get close to it.
What's the effect part? Because I've seen the box that he's got a weird lightning thing. Is that something you attach to the back of his leg, or just kind of put behind him?
There's a peg on it for his feet, or for a foot.
How's it look?
Okay. Again, from a distance.
Okay.
The problem is, I would also say this is definitely the best animated Flash figure you can get. Because the other one you had was the DC Collectibles one, and we all know how that line went. And that was super hard to get anyway. That's super expensive. If you just want a visual representation of this character, which I did, it was on sale, and I knew I had a feeling. This is a good way of getting it. Bought online in part of a bigger box with other stuff in it. Also in that box was the Master Grade Gundam X, Double X rather.
Yeah.
Which I wanted. That is a grail. I've wanted that for ages, but trying to get it online, again, you're looking at 80, 90, 100.
Really? It's hard to get?
Yeah, I got it for 45.
Oh, damn.
I love the Double X. I really like Gundam X. It's a really good show. And I really like I don't love the X itself.
No, it's fine. I mean, the Double X is better.
It's way better.
Yeah.
And this is, from what I've seen, reviews of this kit are really, really positive. There's a high grade, but it's got a lot of stickers.
Yeah, I got the high grade. It's fun. But yeah, there's lots of bits to it.
Yeah. And I haven't gotten Master Grade in a while. That's going to be built at some point. I'm also building the Figurized Tajador at the moment.
Yes, I've been seeing your update pictures. How's that going?
Yeah. Not bad. I've got the body, the waist, the head, and the right side of the body done. Right legs. I'm in the middle of the left arm, and I have the left leg done, and then there's all the flying, the scanning charge parts as well. I will give an opinion that when I'm finished. But really wish they do Putotera so we could have 3 main forms.
No one likes Putotera. He's a minor form in the show. Course.
They have done Fang Joker, which I will now be getting, which is my spoiler for whether or not I like the build. But yeah, in the box as well is another grail. Kind of the big holy grail at the moment. So I have spent a year trying to track down an affordable Caucus, which is the Planet X IDW Grimlock. So it is, again, unfortunately, it runs into the custom wall because sometimes it's online for like 160, right? And that's really cool. It's from America. You're looking about 40, 50 shipping for a figure that size. So that's 210. Then you're looking at customs on top of that, which on that is another 50 euros, maybe 70 euros easy.
Yeah, it's rough.
It's very, very rough. So unfortunately, I just couldn't get it. Now, a few EU shops had Caucus many, many moons ago when I couldn't have paid for them anyway. But they don't have them. What they did have was Ares, which was the blue repaint. And so I sat on this for a while. Now, I paid shipping on, and I just went, fuck it, do it. So shipping was 20. So he cost me under 230 to bring in. So that wasn't too bad at all. And yeah, so I have him, and wow.
Have you put any pictures up of it on Twitter yet?
Not yet. Basically, haven't had the time.
Fair enough. I didn't think I'd seen any yet.
No, I will during the week, but he's very big.
So does he live up to expectations? That because like you said, you've been wanting it for a long time now.
Obviously the color was an issue, but the blue in person is gorgeous. How's
it done? Is it like flat, or is it like pearlescent, shiny kind of thing?
Pearlescent. It's pearlescent. So it's like, and he has like die cast. How much die cast we got? We got die cast in the chest, die cast in the shoulders, die cast in the legs. Die cast in the groin.
Did he do the Jobby the Hung cold touch test?
No, you didn't need to. It arrived on a cold winter's day and had been left outside the back of my house.
So it's freezing cold.
Yeah, so die cast on the whole dinosaur head is die cast. Yeah, the whole dinosaur, except for like the back and neck, that's all plastic. But he's exceptionally, like, I've never seen a masterpiece scale thing just this chunky. It's not just size; he dwarfs the previous Planet X stuff I've seen. Maybe like the Deathsaurus and whatnot would be. I think they're about the same size. But like, he's got so much weight to him. Like, he's so heavy. Really good posability.
Feel the plastic kind of thing. So you can feel the money that you spend.
Yeah, and like, that's his elbow.
That was a big click. I thought that was you clicking your mouse at the microphone.
Nope, that's his elbow. Like, hang on, let's see if I can do, without removing too much, can I do a knee? Whoop, nope, I can unpeg a knee there. Like, oh my god, these ratchets want you to die. Which is, again, kind of appropriate, considering, like he's all ratchets. Every joint is a ratchet. Excellent posability. He's got a built, like, a dedicated ab crunch. It's only there for an ab crunch. He's also got like waist twist, but he's also got on the upper body, he's got like a side to side motion to give him like this cooling. He's got loads of head articulation. Some bits of the head get out, like, also have a bit of articulation to get out of the way if you just want to do a few other things. Swappable hands, so he comes with black hands and the red hands, which were the mill hands and the roach hands. Would have liked, since it's the G2 thing, maybe do a different color than red, but hand swap is easy enough. They're only held on by a clip. The Dino Feeder diecast as well, I forgot that. The paint job is like exquisite. Accessories are good, it's just, apart from the hands, he comes with a really chunky sword.
Okay.
Like, for something that is like mostly clear plastic, it's huge. And it's heavy. And
does he have any issues holding it, or is it
nope.
Okay?
He's holding it now. There's a groove. It's a groove system, so nice and tight. So he's packaged differently from the previous one. So the previous one was packaged in plastic and in robot mode. So there were a lot of reports of like the shoulders coming broken.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I remember hearing that. Yeah.
So they did a second run of him. Where he was in styrofoam and the shoulders came separate, so you had to screw them on yourself, and I think they included spares.
Right.
So the way they did it here was he comes in dino mode. The tail's mistransformed, but to like just do, it's just move things around a little bit. And he comes with the shoulders completely separated with an included screwdriver and screws. So you attach the shoulders on, and you screw them on, and Bob's your uncle. And yeah, Dino mode is kind of nuts. He's a little unbalanced in it, but not hard to compensate for at all. Posability is it's like everything Vulcan had, the Fall of Cybertron one had, dialed up to 11.
Okay.
Really good head posability, like excellent head and neck posability. Tail moves in every direction you can think of, really, like way better than Vulcan's tail. Leg posability is all the arms, so like that's really good strong ratchets there. Yeah, the only real downer I'd say it has of the figure is okay, so there's two things. One is the transformation itself. The legs are really awkward. Like some people, like I've seen reviews and it's like, oh my god, it's such a shit transformation. It's not a shit transformation. The upper body is really easy to do. It's tight, so you need a part separator. I really do not recommend trying this without a part separator. You have the figure, but it is just like it's a tight figure to handle. But that's not too bad. It's just there's a lot of clearance issues in the legs themselves, and which was a problem with Vulcan as well. Different issues this time around, but once you get them going, it's actually really simple. It doesn't some parts it doesn't feel great, like clicking the inner legs together isn't an amazing feeling thing, but once it's done and it's fine. It's just you know you've got to swing panels past each other and you feel like, am I about to break this? Like it's built like a tank, so no, you're not. But like there are bits like if you put enough force on them, you'll snap them. But just because the amount of force you feel, it's a lot of like I was sitting there for like 20 minutes jiggling the legs up and down trying to get them in the right position. So it is something I will do more than once. It's just not like the best part of the toy. The other thing that I really have to knock is the instructions are absolute garbage. They are printed on a little poster, but they're such tiny little images.
I know Jobby makes a lot of comments on like how bad sometimes third-party instruction manuals can be, and I'm guessing this is another one, right?
Yeah, but these are like so like they don't just skip steps. It's so hard to tell if they're skipping steps because it's just so hard to see anything. So I would really, really recommend if you get this figure to go online and find the someone who's done video instructions. That's what I did in the end. Way clearer. I would also say so if you're going with Ares, who's coming packaged in robot mode, Mang Motion is the one to go with. Or if you go with Caucus, rather. Caucus is packaged in robot mode, so I would say Mang Motion is the one you want to go to for that.
Okay.
So he does stop motion, but he also does full transformation videos. If you're going from the other way around, if you want to see how the transformation works from Dino to robot, I strongly recommend Pia. Because unlike most people, he started his review in Dino mode for Caucus, for the G1 one. So he went from Dino mode to robot mode, and it is so much easier watching him do it. No one else, as far as I can tell, has really done that, or if they have, I didn't like how he went into loads of detail, like really, like genuine. Like if you're looking at this toy, that's the review to be looking at. For transformation, do not bother with the instructions. Put them away. Have that video there, play in the background. Have PR and Mang Motion, and that way you've got video instructions for both ways.
That's so much money. You want to be careful with it, just so you don't break it.
Yeah. And yeah, no, just like it's a really cool figure.
Good.
Like unreasonably cool. I like it way more than I was expecting to.
That's good because, like you say, you've been waiting for it for a long time now. A long time.
That is a grail. That is a grail purchase. So that's me really for the week. What about you?
That's pretty solid.
Not bad at all.
What have I been doing? Let's see. I got some games on Steam sale. They're kind of indie ones. One wasn't, but the sale went up. So I got Just Cause 3. That was £3 for everything. Wanted some just basic, like go in, blow stuff up, kind of fun times with a weird squirrel suit. Played a bit of it on stream. It's good. It's fun. It's entertaining. Sometimes it doesn't really tell you what you should be doing. It's just go liberate a town, blow some stuff up. You figure it out. Don't worry about it. Also got Cult of the Lamb Have you heard of Cult of the Lamb?
I
Mikey?
haven't. I haven't played it.
Yeah,
But I have it. It's on my Switch.
I heard a lot of people say it was very good, so I was like, yeah, I'll start a cult. Why not? That sounds fun.
I'll start a cult.
Yeah, well, why not, right? Everybody loves them. Yeah, I think it's one of the top-rated kind of indie games of last year. So I was like, yeah,
yes,
sure.
it got rave reviews if I remember right.
Massive. Yeah, I think the worst thing I heard about it was it's not a game that will stay around for a long time in terms of you can play it and finish it quite quickly, but that's a benefit as well because it's not like wasting your time with just like grinding a side shit that doesn't matter. Just like nice short experience. You get in, you kill some people, you serve your god, you're done. Like, oh, okay, well, it's cute too. I also got Wizard of Legend, which is a roguelike game, top down kind of. I guess like the Hades style, I guess.
Yeah.
I again heard it was good. It was £3. I was like, yeah. I watched some reviews and people said it's got a little bit of an avatar to it because you have different spells. You can do some cool combinations with the magic. And it's getting through these dungeons and getting to a mini boss, beating the mini boss, and as you progress, you get stronger and stronger. So I was like, yeah, sure, okay, £3, why not? And I also picked up, what was the other one? Symphonia of War, the Niflheim Saga, which is a game that's similar to like Fire Emblem, that style, but you have a bit more control. Instead of sending one person into a combat situation, you can select a group. So one of the images I have on my, I'll put it. No, I won't. I'll keep it to myself. One of the images I'm looking at the moment has like 2 priestesses at the back, a lady in the middle, and then 2 spearmen up front against 4 sets of horses. So it seems like you can add different people to these groups, and then they'll obviously have different benefits and stuff like that. I thought it looked neat. I got some very good reviews. I haven't had a chance to play just yet, but I'll play it in the future. That wasn't too much either. And I went through and I've decided to subscribe to I think, it's called something like Best of Indie Games or something like that. It basically tells you all the new indie games that are coming out. And I know because there are so many indie games coming, like it's impossible to keep track of them all,
Yeah, no.
So I went through a load of his backlog and have you heard of a game called Mighty Goose, Mikey?
No.
It is a game that's best described to be like, do you remember Metal Slug?
Yes.
It's that, but you are a goose with like little robot arms and legs.
Right.
And the premise is you're a bounty hunting goose. I'll put it on.
Are you mighty?
Well, I mean, you're a bounty hunting goose, so I would imagine so.
I imagine you're mighty.
Yeah, I haven't got it yet, but I watched the trailer and I thought it looked pretty cool. You being a goose and whatnot. I haven't got it yet. It's got decent reviews, but it's one of these games that you'd never hear of Mighty Goose, right? Because it's buried on the Steam page and stuff like that. I was like, oh, okay, well. And there's a few other ones that are like that as well that I've just like added for the future to maybe pick up, So I got that. I got some deals I got a deal from Game from a Marvel figures, but I'll talk about that once they arrive because there's no point really talking about it just yet. Marvel figure wise, I got the modular Iron Man, which is kind of, it's not the 90s cartoon Iron Man. It is, do you remember the Marvel vs. Capcom?
Yes.
It's that Iron Man of the time, the in quotations modular Iron Man. They have the retro version, which is £57 on Hasbro Pulse, which is only slightly different from the one I have. The one I have has like a gold kind of metallic-y sheen to it. The one they've done on Hasbro Pulse is flat color, so yellow, so it's more like the cartoon. It has 2 different heads, one more like the show and a mullet Tony Stark. Then it's got, oddly enough, the extra effects it comes with are things from Marvel vs. Capcom 2. That weird attack where he held a little energy ball in his hand above his head. He has that, and he has a big like energy laser thing. That £57. I thought that was way too much. It's $47 in the US, which is also a big fuck you. It's not even, how we usually joke, they just turned the pound to $1. Yeah. They turned the dollar to a pound and then added like an extra £10 onto that. And I was like, fuck you.
Not good.
No, this modular Iron Man only comes with 2 sets of hands, closed fists, and open, pulse array hands, and then he comes with some of the pulse effects, and that was £14. I was like, that's good enough. I'm fine with that. It's less than 57. Fine.
Yeah.
And he's good. He's a Marvel Legends figure. The articulation's solid. He looks right. I just would have liked him to come with a lot more things, especially because it's like blasting and some floaty stuff. But yeah, he's not bad. I also picked up, which way do I go on the thing here? There it is. I picked up Thor, Herald of Galactus. This was a much more substantial release. He comes with a blue version of his hammer. He comes with a lightning effect to go around said hammer. He comes with Humin and Moonin. Is that the two ravens? Crows?
I don't know.
It's Odin's crows, because Odin's dead, so he's now got the Odin Force, which is the Thor Force. And then in the story, he also gets like imbued by the power of Galactus, thus he's a herald, so he has a different look. He also comes with closed fisty hands to replace his like open hand and hammer holding hand. The box was full of stuff, so I felt a lot happy about getting it. I got it for 18 because there was a £5 Amazon gift voucher. You know how they just randomly say, hey, it's £5
Yeah.
I was like, fine, fuck it, I'll take it. I needed to get a calendar for the house as well, so we got a calendar, but that's not interesting to talk about. But I also threw in Days of Future Past on Blu-ray because it was £2.
Oh, nice.
I hadn't seen Days of Future Past since probably the original release. I've started rewatching it. I've started rewatching it last night, and it's not bad. It's fun. Don't get me wrong, it's not like the game-changing kind of movies, but compared to like the last load of Marvel films I saw in the cinema, I'm having more fun with it than I did there. It's got some issues of like, they made the Sentinels have Mystique's ability, but instead of like being able to just look like something else, they're able to like copy mutants' powers. I'm not quite sure how they were able to do that. It seems like a floaty wave away line. I guess that's a problem with like a lot of like comic movies just randomly doing their own thing when the comic thing was fine. Big Sentinels, lots of them, and Nimrod. That's all you need for that kind of future, right? All right, because you're here, Mikey, maybe you can answer this question.
Yes.
Does Apocalypse after Days of Future Past happen take over? Because I don't believe that the Sentinels could kill Apocalypse. At all. I don't think they'd come anywhere close because he's got celestial technology.
Well, he's like Thanos level, isn't he?
Yeah, he's what he. I think he can control his density, which is already quite powerful, and then he also has the celestial technology, which is stupidly overpowered.
Like, I don't know what happened in that arc. I don't remember it. I remember reading it, but I don't like. I was very young.
Yeah.
I was young once, Andy. But I mean, I would say like realistically no, but I also would say like, of course, there'd be an episode where there's our comic issue, which is like, and here's the Celestial designed to kill Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Which
the Sentinel kills Apocalypse.
The Sentinel, yeah. Which considering all the Krakoa stuff they're doing at the moment, I could absolutely see that's how that wraps up. Like humans create like a mega mutant killing Sentinel.
Based on Apocalypse to kill Apocalypse.
Yeah, it's like Apocalypse Cow.
Yes. Oh, it's a cow that has Apocalypse's powers. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
like Earthworm Jim. Yeah. Okay. I'm down with that. And I also got the what was it called? It's the old Toy Biz box Captain America. It's meant to be like a nod back. So he's got a Captain America shield which has 3 holes in it, which is a bit of a shame because they don't give you a normal shield. But you can add in like 3 gun like ricochet effects onto it. You can add like a sword swipe onto the shield, so it looks like someone's tried to hit the shield with a sword. Or you can have this weird blue lightning energy on the shield. You can have him with his mask on or with his mask off. And he comes with a few different hands. He's more expensive than he should be. He was like £30. He was more expensive than he should be. But I can see why a lot of people rate him as the currently best Captain America out there. He's very good. He's quite nicely painted. I'm happy with him because if I'm going to get a Captain America, I'm probably not going to spend like Japanese money on him. Mayfex is doing a Thor. I'd rather buy a Japanese Thor than I would do like a Marvel Legends one, just because that Mayfex one coming out this year looks really good. So yeah, I like it. It's just maybe a little bit expensive for what it is. And quickly, is there anything else? I don't think so. I think for the most part, that is it. Yes, I'm going to say that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't think of anything else. Mikey, where could people find you on the internet?
I do have a question.
Oh, shit. Oh, I also, before we take the question, I have a bit of homework for you, because this is something I thought was quite interesting. I want you to do some homework for next week, Mikey. It's not too intensive. I want you to watch the first episode of the X-Men 90 show, the Spider-Man 90 show, and then the Iron Man 90 show.
Right.
The Iron Man one needs to be last.
The Iron Man one needs to be last. Isn't that like when he had that weird team made up of like the West Coast Avengers?
It is.
And all I remember from that is sha-la-la-la-la.
Yeah, Wanda's in there with really short
hair. Was he
hair.
dating Wanda or was he dating Spider-Woman?
Yes. It's Tony Stark. He was probably fucking everyone. Probably dating Hawkeye as well. I don't know. I want you to watch each of them because they're, from my perspective, Spider-Man cartoon, Night of the Lizard, not bad episode. It's okay.
No,
not as good as
Spectacular.
Spider-Man, but it's good. It's good.
That's not a fair comparison at all.
I know, but it's worth mentioning. The X-Men's first episode is Night of the Sentinels. Lots of
and that's the one with Jubilee and Morph and everything else.
Yeah, that's a good episode as well. I think it's a two-parter, but you don't need to watch
I think that was my introduction to like mildly dodgy voice acting. Because even when I was small, I taught some of those lines. Jubilee, yeah.
Some of the delivery's not the best, but I think it still holds up. And then there's the Iron Man show, which is just at kindest basic 90s cartoon.
You're forgetting Hulk and Fantastic Four.
I mean, if you want to watch those the first episode of each of those ones as well, you can do.
Was there anything else in that?
Silver Surfer, but that took place a few years later.
Oh yeah, oh god.
And that's not a bad show. Thanos' voice is terrible in the show, though.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I remember I didn't like it. I don't remember anything about it.
You might enjoy it more going back. I guess the big issue is Norrin Rad is very mopey. He's very sad, which is like, I get it. I like the fact that there are a lot of references in it. There's like, oh, I know that now. I know that person now. Like, I watched the Dark Phoenix saga, and there's a part where like Phoenix flies off and devours the sun, and it goes past eternity. It's like, oh, there's eternity. Oh, I know eternity now. There's also the last big arc with Apocalypse, where he's in the center of the time, and Cable's with that really annoying janitor.
Yeah.
And then at the end, he turns into this dude, and I was like, who the fuck's that? And it's, what's its name, Imperiex or something like that? It's one of the different versions of Kang, which I only found out a few, month or so ago. I was like, oh, I know that guy now as well. Oh, that's pretty cool. As a kid, I'm like, who the fuck's this? This doesn't mean anything to me. It's like, oh, I know things.
It's another game of who the fuck are you?
Yeah, pretty much. I guess that's maybe a bad thing with the references. You're like, I don't know what this means. But yeah, I think if you'd like, that might be interesting to hear your thoughts and like how they did some of those Marvel shows correctly and then how they just phoned in some of them. Because they phoned in some of them. Fantastic Four and especially Iron Man. Hulk was done well. X-Men's done well. And Spider-Man's done well. Yeah, those last two. Oh boy. Mikey, what was the question that you had?
Yeah, so this is a question from Picky Peeves, who is, again, one of our dino people. So, greetings once again. I have returned with more questions that will be incomprehensible to Andy and other listeners. Should I feel guilty about this? Maybe! But who cares?
No.
When there's more opportunities to talk about the wonderful world of extinct archosaurs. I mean, literally talking my language. But first, I've had many an opportunity to think about the interesting challenges that can come from making transforming robots based on scientifically up-to-date understandings of animals. Did you know there's a show on TFW, which is literally about that from a year or so ago? Go listen. How on earth do you get a humanoid robot out of a Spinosaurus? Yeah, and that's the easy one.
They kind of did it with what was his name? Saberback. Was that his name?
Yeah,
Saberback from Neo?
He wasn't a Spino, but it was similar. I'd say you do a lot of similar transformations.
Yeah.
But are there any examples you can think of where something would be more interesting, like a Beast Wars Megatron would have more room for torso if he had his gastralia, which basically means if he had a bigger belly?
Oh.
So T-Rex was a lot chunkier, like extra, like Australia, like extra belly ribs, for want of a better term.
So the question is kind of, would the Transformers be better if they were more scientifically accurate?
Like, I would actually, like, Beast Wars Megatron, I think, is a good example because you would have a lot bigger torso, so you could have a lot more room for robot inside. Like, so you could have a bit more of an original transformation or something like that. I think that would be a good thing.
I guess from my perspective, it depends. It depends what is the zeitgeist for what do kids think a creature looks like.
Yeah. Like Jurassic Park.
Yeah. For the most part, it's like make it look like Jurassic Park because that's the thing that most people think the dinosaurs should look like. If there were ones that are more accurate, sure.
Well, like, would Dinobot be better? Like, if you had a bit of a chunkier raptor with more, like, the feathers could be, like, sculpted in and they could be used to hide robot elements, maybe?
I would say no, because no matter what you do with Dinobot's transformation, it's just magic. You can't do it. You need to... I think the only way that you fix Dinobot is you completely redesign him. If that includes, like, changing how the raptor mode looks, that's fine as well. I don't think we want a scientifically accurate Velociraptor, though, do we?
I'm not getting into that with you because you're wrong.
But aren't like Velociraptors like tiny? They're like chicken size or something.
Well, you can just like do what everyone else does and just call it Raptor. I think Sludge would work a lot better, I think, because I think one of the problems with the design of the leader Sludge is the short neck and tail in robot mode and the tiny legs. Because like if you made him a bit more lithe and get him a nice long neck and tail, you'd have a lot more to play with, I think.
Well, that's the problem with being so like fixated on just making it G1.
Yeah.
You are stuck with him looking like that. But yeah, I mean, that could definitely even dinosaurs I had didn't look like Slug. You know, my plastic dinosaurs looked more realistic, and that was from like 30 years ago.
Weirdly, I know it's an absolute kibbly mess, but I think the Guile Dart and the Killer Punch mold did a good. They made a good use of, like, it was Neo, which meant their use of mass was to have, like, shells unfold, but because of they were actually quite thick and they had long legs and everything else, they made good use of the space for, like, how much robot you could fold up in there.
And to be fair, like, it was better than Break. They looked more like shoulder pads, while Breaks were, again, shoulder pads, but there was just too much. I think that the two...
And Arcadus was really fun. I really like Arcadus.
I like the idea of Arcadus. I think Arcadus doesn't stand very well.
No, he doesn't do anything, but I like the design. I also like, weirdly, like that art style in him is really referential to a really famous bit of old art, which I really like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. From the 70s, 80s, something like that. Yeah. But it's just, I love the idea of, like, the wing, because he's got these big feathery wings, which means you don't have, like, the room for joints and stuff. You just turn them into a mantle.
I think if you did more creatures that looked like him, that style, that could be quite fun. An interesting, again, a cryptid line of Transformers would be interesting. I mean, again, they don't have to be exactly what we think of as El Chupacabra or Skunk Ape or stuff like that. It doesn't have to look exactly like that, but you could do a line like that and then just Monster Pretender them up or something like that. It'd be interesting to see because it's different, but we're not allowed that. Bumblebee Prime.
All must be G1.
Yes.
So next part of the question. Second, I think it's a fair criticism to say that could be had for Dinobots and dinos in general in media is how it feels like it gives a very incomplete notion of the diversity of Mesozoic reptiles, which is true. You only get, like, someone was saying to me, like, today, Jurassic Park has 4 of the 5 main dinosaurs, and I'm just like, that's a lot more than 5. But
that must really annoy you.
What do you picture as a minimal yet comprehensive lineup that would best communicate the diversity? I'd be especially curious for your pick of pterosaurs, which are pterodactyls and things like that.
I definitely can't answer that. I don't know the dinosaurs.
I would, for pterosaurs, I'd like a Quetzalcoatlus, just from like this giant ground stork monster. I'd like a Nyctodactylus. Nyctosaurus. I was looking at that earlier on today. Don't know why I said Nyctodactylus. But Nyctosaurus, which is basically kind of like a pteranodon with a big antler out the top of his head. It just looks so bizarre. It's so cool. I'd like Rhamphorhynchus or Rhamphorhynchid of some sort. You know what? Let's do Clobiodon, the one named after Nick. Let's do that one. Which is basically kind of picture a seagull with fangs the size of your hands.
Damn.
And like,
sounds like a normal seagull.
Yeah, I just think it would be fun. Thalassodromius would be fun. Dimorphodon could be fun. There's one. It's on the edge of my head. What's it called? Not that. No, not that. Agnorignatus, which is kind of like this, kind of like, a nightjar. Have you ever seen a nightjar?
No.
Basically, it's kind of like, they're also called frogmouths. So they got really short faces and they open their mouth really, really wide. And basically, they're the pterosaur that looks like that.
Oh,
and
pug.
it's like, yeah, basically, it's a flying pug. I was just like, yes, and have him be like a comic rap bat, or just like, yes, good, yes. Dinosaurs. I think the problem with actually picking a lot of diversity for dinosaur fauna is that you're kind of working on like variations on a theme. Because like, I want to do a carnivorous dinosaur. Most of the ones you pick are basically just kind of like some like lightly built or spikier T-Rex.
Yeah.
So like, it like the really interesting stuff would be like really bizarre dinosaurs. Like what's called Yingli. Basically it's a little feathery. Yeezy. It's a lot of the Chinese names go over my head. I'm sorry, but it basically has a big spur sticking out of its like elbow that basically functions like a wing, like made of bone. It's really, really weird looking. There's also this group that have the little like they don't have hands properly. They have like little arms, and then they end up with one giant claw at the end of it, which looks kind of fun. I mean, if you're doing dinos, it's always late to say this, but like a Carnotaurus or something, I just think is fun. And with its little tiny, like useless arms, it's just cute. Could be like the really nice guy.
I guess
Ankylosaurus
the
is
problem...
not well enough represented in Dinobots. I don't get why Ankylosaurus doesn't get used.
When you're picking dinosaurs, you need to have ones that have very specific silhouettes, don't you? Ones that have a silhouette that is distinctly different from the other ones as well.
Yeah. So, Piggy Peas, if you can like give me, because I'm like going through all like the ones that come into the top of my head, and it's just like, yeah, Parasaurolophus or something like that for a Hadrosaurid or a Iguanodon or something like that. But they're all kind of given the same silhouette. I'm trying to think of something really distinct. Like Ankylosaurus, I'm just shocked it's so underrepresented. Because it's so well known and it's so distinctive looking, and like there's Bazooka and there's Bazooka's Retool, and the Dino Force guy.
I think the last real new dinosaur that we got introduced into Transformers was probably the Spinosaurus, right? With Scorn,
Slash, I think as well. Would she count?
Is that not just a Velociraptor? I don't know.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah, Scorn would be the the last really distinctive looking. Dino we got,
and hasn't really been used too much since then, which is a shame because the design for Scorn looked very cool. Even being a movie design, it looked very good.
And even then, it had a decent toy.
Yeah, shockingly.
Two decent toys. I never got the Voyager, but I always wanted to.
Why not do a G1 sort of G1ified version of him? That'd be nice.
Like we got G1 Slash. Why not do G1 Scorn?
Why not do re-renditions of the Neo crew? They're mostly dinosaurs.
That would be really cool because they have a really nice diversity.
Yeah, and not just like from a silhouette angle, but from like a color point as well. All of the colors match really well against each other. It's pretty team.
And I want Killer Punch because Killer Punch his name is Killer Punch.
I like the fact they have dead modes.
Yes. Oh, that is something like. Again, I think that's another thing. Just because the extra mass doing realistic things would give you, I would love to see a return to the dead modes. I thought the dead modes were so creative.
Yeah, it's silly. It's not necessary, but it's like, oh, it's cute.
Yeah, like I really, really like the dead modes. But yeah, like I love Killer Punch. Like I remember, like he's one of the ones I was so annoyed that the source book made all serious.
Oh.
That
source book was just pretty bad. Like no one.
Oh yeah.
People like the G1 source book. No one liked the Beast Wars source book. No one.
It's like he's like, oh, he's so serious and sinister because everyone was serious and sinister in the source book. And I'm just like, no, he's a nut job conspiracy theorist. But like, love it, love Killer Punch. But he's a laugh. Like everyone was a laugh. Everyone was a laugh. The source book is garbage. Everyone is a laugh. Like there's so many shit things in that book.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm just looking at it now. Guile Dark, infinitely loyal in the actual cartoon, distrustful schemer because they had to be one. Hardhead, dumb as a post, master swordsman because he's Dinobot.
Yeah.
Jointrons, basically the same but not Mexican.
Lame, basically. They need to be the mariachi band. They have to be.
You're not Mexican enough. Yeah. Lastly, now that I'm sure Andy and the other listeners have tuned off, here.
No, I think I was engaged enough.
Well, we've got. If anyone listening, please tell us if you're engaged. It's time for a more accessible question. What are some of your favorite design tropes for animal transformers that you think you should be used more often, or ones that you should see being interesting on a different animal than typically used? My picks would be more of the use of animal head for the robot feet, a la classics Grimlock, or a theropod having legs that can wrap around themselves like chunky robot skin, like the Kingdom Cats.
I think we kind of mentioned one with the dead mode. Technically.
Yeah, dead modes would be something I'd really like. I think the dino head being the feet would be a good one. I think it could be done better than classics Grimlock, like make it flatter, less high heely.
Yeah, I think it depends specifically on the animal, doesn't it?
Yeah. Like you're kind of relying on stuff like crocodiles or dinos for that because it's just you need something with a big head.
Yeah.
But I think the cats, like having something that uses that back to transformation of the cats would be good.
Like I can think of where it doesn't work desperately well, like Tasmanian Kid, like whatever his name was. Like I don't like that because it just felt a bit lazy, and it was late 90s, early 2000s, so it's not like a big deal. But it was just a big head for a foot. If you could make that a bit more interesting as a foot design, yeah, sure, that could be quite an interesting idea.
I would like to see more, like I think it was Beast Machines Primal that did this, more sort of like the basic 4-leg ones that like usually the bipedal animals that turn into robot, and like basically all you do is straighten the legs out, straighten the arms out. Like what he did was flip upside down. I think it was Air Attack. Or no, it was
he was part of the RID line, wasn't he?
Yeah. And it wasn't just him, it was Optimus Minor did this as well. Like you flipped him upside down and like, okay, now the arms are the legs and the legs and the arms, and like it required actual transformation. Like I like the Voyager Primal a lot as a design, but like I am very underwhelmed by the transformation.
Yeah.
Because
I can see why they choose that, because it's the easiest method. I think you can do that with something more like a primate with a gorilla or something like that. That can work quite well.
But like the Beast Wars Megatron again, it's like just straighten out the legs. Just like I like the idea of like the legs flip round, and like again you got the extra legs, the robot legs in the chest or something like that.
I actually wouldn't mind seeing, how Snarl has the tail that splits and becomes his shoulder wings. Stuff like that. I like that because it's nice, like, framing device, which you don't see often.
Something that makes the kibble ornamentation not kibble.
Yeah. It makes it, actually, like you say, actual ornamentation.
Which is, like, kind of the biggest problem with any Beast Wars design, which is kibble. Kibble is something you're dealing with in getting out of the way.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, it really needs to be integrated more. Like, Cheetor is a good example of using it fairly well. But I'd like to see, like, some people are going to hate me for this. I'd like to see more tail arms and head arms, but I'd like to see them done better than just, okay, the head's at the end of the arm. Like, you have to then transform the head. Like, okay, and you have the option, like, oh, it's like, as an attack mode, it goes into like just the animal head, like a lion head or a cat head or a wolf or something. But then like you have to split it in half, and it's on a hinge, and it folds back to reveal an actual hand, and it kind of becomes like the top of the head is like Ryuki's gauntlet.
Would you want it so it's a permanent feature, or would you like it so that it's able to be removed and changed?
Removed and changed, just because I like
Masterpiece Megatron. He could either have the big claw, or he didn't have to have the big claw.
Yeah. I think it's something that like something modular. I like more options, because like Beast Transformers, especially like realistic ones, are just so trapped by what they are.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice just to have a few options on the table,
Maybe having the head of, like, if it's a T-Rex or it's a lion, something fierce, maybe having that pull off and turn into like a shield. With a gun that comes out of the mouth, so it's like a shield, but it also can go pew pew. Nice little feature there.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so thanks for being the source of discussion on this niched overlap of interest. I wish you a pleasant day, and hope the move went well. It did. I'm doing good. But yeah, no, thank you. That's a really interesting one. So yeah, thank you, Picky Peeves. And if you'd like to be cool like Picky Peeves, you can't because he's a paleontologist, or nearly. Anyway, I think this is your last year, which means you've only got a few months left. Keep up the good work. But if you want to be almost as cool as Picky Peeves, you can send us a question on moonbase2@gmail.com, or you can send us a message on Twitter or Facebook or Libsyn or Patreon or anywhere else. Andy, do you have any questions?
No, not that I know of.
In that case,
just questions of life, you know.
Then market yourself.
You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube as Decayed Andy, as in a rotten corpse of a human being, not a 10-year period, because 10-year periods aren't people. There's subjects of time.
I mean, there is one example of them being a person.
Which one?
Decade.
Oh.
He is a decade. He's also a dickhead.
He covers both things quite well. You can find us on the Moonbase 2 forums, Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn, and YouTube as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. If you go over to patreon.com/Moonbase2 and do $2 each month, you get From the Fires of Teletran 2 early. That episode is done and recorded and has been processed. Me and Griff talk for about nearly 3 hours on Spawn the Dark Ages, the trade of however many issues that is. That'll be going up on Patreon maybe next week. I don't know whether I should build a backlog because I got a few people coming in, or I might just like throw it up for this month's show. I'll need to decide. We also do the Moonbase Woo Woo, where we talk about non-transformery things in more detail, and it will be season 6 of Stargate SG-1 again at some point this month, before the end of the month. And you can go over to ccbunker.weebly.com as well if you want to. Anything else, Mikey?
No, that's me done.
Cool. Well, thanks everybody for coming on by. Thank you for streaming with us. We'll be streaming again, same place as we did before, this place, at 8 o'clock UK time next week on the Sundal Day. So if you want to come on by and jump into chat and talk to us and throw insults at me or Mikey, and I can relay the messages, we'll be on YouTube and my Twitch channel. So until then, everybody, thanks for coming on by, and we'll catch you next week for, well, hopefully more Transformers news. Bye.